For the final time in the regular season, the Falmouth Commodores are set to take flight against the Western Division leading Hyannis Harbor Hawks. The Hawks have already clinched a playoff spot thanks to 4 straight wins. On the other side, the Doors have won 6 of 8 and are clinging to 4th place in the division. Good evening, everybody. Carter Bainbridge along with Trey Redfield and our field reporter Logan Safarenko with you here on the Falmouth Commodores radio network. Trey, the Doors are back in action after the All-Star break. Finally, after a day of festivities and a day of rest, the Doors are back at McKeon Park for the 3rd and final time this season, trying to topple the division leader.
Yeah, it feels good to get back into the swing of things, isn't it? You know, it's a golden opportunity for the Doors to get back going. You know, I mean, in the last 7 games, the Doors are what, 5-1-1. Now you'll take that any day of the week, and that one loss came against this Harbor Hawks team in what was just a 1-inning meltdown. It came in the top of the 7th where Hyannis put up 4 runs over at Gov Fuller Field. But today's an opportunity for the Doors to get it back into the swing of things, even with the wind and the weather going a little bit against our favor right now.
Well, the big headline of the day, the fact that Falmouth is 1-4 against this Hyannis team this year. The latest loss on Thursday, July 21st, 5-4, your final score out at the Gov, as the Doors made 5 errors and a couple more costly mistakes on the base paths en route to another defeat against these Hawks, a team that has really surprised this year on the way to a first-place current standing in the Western Division after 2 consecutive last-place finishes. So for the Doors to try and combat this lineup, it's left-hander Will Johnston on the mound today for his 2nd start this season. 4th appearance. Johnston carries a 5.14 ERA in 7 innings coming into this matchup, but all his runs came in his last outing, Trey. We saw him at Lowell Park in that 9-8 win. He went 4 innings, allowed 4 earned.
Yeah, you know, that's something that's going to be usual against Katuitt. Every time the Commodores are taking on the Kettleers, it's always going to be a battle. And knowing how good Hyannis is on its own end, you know, not the slugging type, but still finds a way to get on base left and right, it's important for Johnston to get it going early, find the groove ASAP, because that's something he did not do at Lowell Park. If he does that today at McKeon Park, then he should be just fine, making his 2nd start and what was the same amount of starts that he did at Texas A&M this year.
And opposing Johnston on the mound is Jay Driver, hard-throwing right-hander for Hyannis, who has been a reliever most of the year, but now making his 2nd start in this, his 10th appearance of the summer for the Hawks. 13 1/3 innings previously, 20 strikeouts. That number pops out at you. 16 hits, 6 walks, and just a smattering of earned runs. Only 6 on the season in those 13 1/3. So he takes the mound right now to get things started on a windy, raw, overcast day here in Hyannis, Massachusetts. We aren't sure if we're getting this whole game in tonight, but we're sure going to try to get in as much as we possibly can, as Alex Mooney now stands in to get things started for the Doors, leading things off and playing at short today for Falmouth. Driver on the mound adjusting the hat and the belt with his jersey rippling in the wind here at McKeon Park. He faces down his catcher Jorge Corona behind the plate, turns and deals the first pitch of the ball game. It's in for a strike on Mooney, and that's how this one starts at 6:01 p.m. Colby Halter on deck playing 3rd today for the Doors. Jace Borfin hitting 3rd, playing left as Driver turns, and the 0-1 to Mooney is a chopper to the 3rd base side. Gloved by Earhart over at 3rd base. His throw across beats Mooney by a step and a half. And there's out number 1 here in the top of the 1st inning. So Alex Mooney swinging early in the count, as is his usual custom. As we round out the rest of the Falmouth lineup, Andrew Pinkney hitting cleanup, playing center today. Peyton Stovall at 2nd, hitting 5th. Jacob Walsh playing 1st base, hitting 6th. Drew Brutcher in right, hitting 7th. Corey Collins, the DH, hitting 8th. And Daniel Neary, the catcher, hitting 9th. So here's Colby Halter hitting 2nd, playing 3rd with nobody on. And 1 out here in the top of the 1st at McKeon Park. We're just underway between the Doors and the Hawks as Driver delivers his first pitch to Halter down low, 1-0. Defense for Hyannis around the horn in the infield. Drew Earhart at 3rd making his debut. He just made the put out on Mooney. Mitch Jebb at short, Riku Nishida at 2nd, Nolan Shanuel at 1st base as Halter takes down low, 2-0. Outfield left to right, Tito Flores, Cole McConnell, and Mike Sirota. Jorge Corona is the catcher tonight for Jay Driver, and Pancho Ruiz is the Hyannis DH, not fielding today. Halter in the left-handed batter's box, Driver the righty delivers. Down low again and away this time from Halter, and it's 3-0. As the wind gusts around here in McKeon Park, shaking the net right in front of us. And you'll hear that on our microphones tonight.
All game long. I mean, that American flag is flying towards the outfield fence, too, in right center.
3-0 to Halters, in for a strike. And the count's 3-1 on the Falmouth third baseman, who enters the day hitting .303. He just featured in the All-Star game as one of the starters just a couple days ago. 3-1 delivery is a swing and a foul left side. Way out of play as Earhart rather, from third and Jeb from short give it both a look, but it drifts way over the fence and out of play. And the count goes full on Halter with one away, bases empty, top of the first inning here at McKeon Park, as the Doors try to rally here to scratch out a second win on the regular season series against Hyannis. The Doors now 1-4 in 5 games. 3-2 to Halter as a swing and a pop-up, this time left side again in play as Earhart gives it a look, gives way to Tito Flores in left, who slipped and fell. It's a fair ball as Halter heads for second and slides in with a double. So already, Trey, the wind playing tricks on the first ball hit in the air today. What looked like a sure foul ball down the left field line. We thought it was a double as we await the official scoring. See if Flores actually did get a glove on that. It was an obscured view. In any event, Halter stands at second with only one away here in the top of the first inning.
Yeah, and last time we were here, as it is a hit for Colby Halter, he had a double being in the 2 spot against Hyannis, but that win certainly being a factor. It's starting foul territory. The ball's pushing towards the outfield fence, meaning from the left side, it's going to be pushing towards the right. So the wind with the baseball being best friends in that moment right there.
Strike one fired in by driver to Jace Borfin, the left-handed hitting left fielder, hitting third today for the Doors. With Halter at second base, first hit of the ball game, first base runner for the Doors. A twisting pop-up down the left field line that turned Tito Flores all the way around in left field. 0-1, swing and a miss on a breaking pitch by Borfin, and it's quickly 0-2. So that ball drifted behind Flores, who then tried to lunge back for it and fell on his backside in left field. No dice on what was a tricky catch, and Halter stands at second base now with only one away, top of the first inning. Jay Driver, right-hander, looking in at Borfin. He turns and deals the 0-2, up high with a fastball. It's 1-2. So Driver, the right-hander, 6'3", 195-pounder from Wellesley, Mass., does his collegiate pitching at Harvard, where he appeared in 15 games this spring, all in relief. A 1.91 ERA with the Crimson in 28 1/3 innings. 20 hits, 6 earned runs, 13 walks, 45 punch-outs. 1-2 to Borfin. Swinging a tapper foul back of the plate, and it stays 1-2. The Driver so far this summer for the Hawks has been a high-powered reliever. Has a save to his credit that he got back on June 13th against Orleans. His last outing was a scoreless frame against Falmouth back on the 21st. And these two, in their last appearance, I should say. 1-2 to Borfin again. Breaking ball in there for strike 3 called. Nasty stuff from Driver early on in this game. He gets his first K of the looking variety on Borfin, who takes his seat for the second out here in the top of the first inning. Halter still at second with 2 down.
Something that sidearm throwers bring is more of a frisbee look with their breaking ball. You know, that started away from Jace Borfin into left-handed batter's box, and then it came in to paint on the outer half. Good stuff there from Driver. Now he's got to finish it off with Pinckney at the plate.
First pitch to Pinckney is a swing and a softly hit fly ball to right. Sirota coming in, loses his hat as he jogs to make the catch. And that ends the inning. Out number 3. First pitch attacking for Pinckney, but nothing doing for the Doors. They get a hit, no runs, no errors, and leave a man. We head on to the bottom of the first. Jeb, Sirota, and McConnell. 1, 2, and 3 for Hyannis due up when we return. You're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Falmouth Commodores Radio Network. Welcome back to McKeon Park as we head on to the bottom of the first inning between the Doors and the Hawks. If you're just tuning in, you missed the top of the first where the Doors got a one-out double by Colby Halter, but then stranded him at second base on a strikeout by Borfin and a flyout by Andrew Pinckney. As we head on to this bottom of the first, Will Johnston, the left-hander on the mound for Falmouth, making his second start of the year.
Yeah, Johnson is making his second start, like you said. That's the same amount of starts that he had at Texas A&M this season for Will Johnson. Last time he was on the mound, he gave 4 earned runs against the Katuitt Cavaliers over at Lowell Park against a lineup that's really strong slugging-wise. And this is a Hyannis team that's really good with hitting the ball too, but not so much on the extra bases side and the home runs and all that stuff. But it's really important for Johnson, no matter what lineup he's going with, to find the groove early against a speedy Harbor Hawks team. The last thing you want to do is get these guys on base and throw balls or put balls into play that spots that your defense isn't in, because then it's going to lead to guys like Mitch Jebb, who's coming out to the plate, for Nishida to steal their bases.
Well, these Hawks lead the league in runs scored with 180. It's 25 more than any other team. Katuitt's in second place in that category. And these Hawks also lead the league in stolen bases with 73. So Johnston facing Mitch Jebb, the shortstop, leading things off for Hyannis, who checks his swing on a called strike here at the bottom of the first inning. So Jebb playing short, leading off. Mike Sirota in right, hitting second for the Hawks. Cole McConnell in center, hitting third. Nolan Shanuel at first base, hitting cleanup. As Jebb shows bunt and takes up high, it's 1-1. Jorge Corona, the catcher, hitting fifth for Hyannis. Drew Earhart in his debut game at third for the Hawks this summer, hitting sixth. Pancho Ruiz at DH, hitting seventh. Tito Flores in left, hitting eighth. And Riku Nishida at second base, hitting ninth. 1-1 to Jebb is up high again, about shoulder height. And it's 2-1 on the Hyannis leadoff hitter. Defense for the Commodores behind Johnston. Outfield left to right. Jace Borfin, Andrew Pinckney, and Drew Brutcher. We'll get to the infield after this 2-1 delivery. Swinging a fly ball foul left side, way out of play by Jebb. Infield for Falmouth, around the horn, Colby Halter at third, Alex Mooney at short, Peyton Stovall at second, and Jacob Walsh at first base. Danny Nerai, the catcher, today for Will Johnston. 2-2 the count on Jebb. Nobody out here. Bottom of the first. Base is empty. Johnston turns and fires. Breaking ball way high. No chance for Nerai to even get a glove on it as it smacked off the brick backstop, and it's 3-2 on Jebb.
Yeah, we've seen that with Johnson. Each and every breaking ball that he's thrown have been balls, and they've been high in the zone. Something that Johnson needs to do is come more so over the top with it. If he comes over the top of this breaking ball, he has more command with it.
3-2 pitch to Jebb is a swing and a foul left side. Jebb kind of lunged at it the other way off the end of the bat. And the count stays full on the Hyannis shortstop. We're just underway here at McKeon Park. Pretty nice crowd today, all things considered, with what was in the weather forecast. We looked this morning and thought, oh no, because all it showed was rain and storms all day long, but we've stayed away from it so far. All we have today is overcast skies and a lot of wind. 3-2 to Jebb again, swinging a softly hit ground ball to shortstop. Mooney to his left, waits for it, retrieves and throws just in time. One away here in the bottom of the first inning.
When you're fielding that ball in the infield, you have to be so quick against Hyannis, and even quicker against Mitch Jebb, because all that man is going to do is try and pull it away from where he's running to. He wants to get it to that left side of the field and immediately get out of the batter's box. That's something he did a lot at Michigan State this season, where he led the Spartans with an over 350 batting average. And that's something he's doing here in Hyannis, making a great impact with the Hawks. Just missing on that one, though.
First pitch to Mike Sirota. Misses for ball one, 1-0. With one away, bases empty here in the bottom of the first inning. Will Johnston on the mound for Falmouth, facing off against Hyannis' number 2 hitter in Sirota. 1-0 pitch, misses inside to the right-handed hitting Sirota, and it's 2-0. Cole McConnell on deck as the number 3 hitter, but Sirota's been hot with the bat ever since he came over from Brewster. 2-0 pitch on the corner for a strike. 2-1 from Johnston.
You mentioned he was hot coming into the game on, what was it, Thursday against Hyannis? Friday, one of those days. He was 13 of 28.
Almost 500.
Yeah.
Right off the rip.
One hit away from 500.
2-1 the count on Sirota as Johnston turns and deals. Beautiful breaking ball on the outside corner for a strike, and it's 2-2. One away, base is empty, bottom of the first inning. Sirota taking his first cracks of the day. He still enters today with a .412 average. 14 for 34 with the Hawks. 2-2 high and away, and it's 3-2. 12 driven in over that span as well. So Sirota, who started this summer with the Whitecaps over in Brewster, was released the 7th of this month. Played only 11 games for Brewster. Now he's here, 3-2, swinging a sharply hit ground ball foul left side. All the way over into the Hyannis bullpen. Over in that foul ground with their backs up against the fence. Maybe about 20 feet into foul ground over there with a dirt mound. Sirota gets himself ready for this 3-2 pitch. Johnston looking in. Shakes off once, then again. Now a third time, and now ready for the 3-2. He deals. Swing and a miss. Went upstairs and got Sirota swinging for Johnston's first strikeout of the day. 2 away here in the bottom of the first inning. Base is still empty, and Cole McConnell is the hitter.
I mean, the outs are great and all, but it's important for Johnston to keep that pitch count low, too. We're now at back-to-back full counts and just 2 batters faced for Will. So it's really important for him to throw strikes early. You know, maybe jam some guys here and there.
First pitch to McConnell. Gets the bottom of the zone, strike 1 on a fastball. 2 away, base is empty here, bottom of the first inning. Cole McConnell playing center, hitting third, now up to the bat, hitting .265 this summer. 0-1 pitch is a swing and a line drive into right center field, base hit. Pinkney plays it on a couple hops as you heard a big gust of wind blow through here at McKeon Park right as McConnell swung the bat. McConnell now stands at first base, the first base hit of the day for the Hawks. A 2-out single here in the first inning, and Nolan Shanuel is the batter.
Yeah, right when that gust came, I had to pick up one of the poles of our tent here on the right side, making sure we don't blow away along with the tent.
And trust us, it wasn't that McConnell swung that hard.
No,
it was just your natural weather features. First pitch to Shanuel is down low and away. It's 1-0. With McConnell over at first base, he's one of those stealers for Hyannis. 8 for 9 this summer. Just about everybody in this lineup can take one. But Johnston on the mound as a left-hander, trying to keep him at bay today. Looking over at McConnell, taking his time, now the 1-0. In for a strike, it's 1-1. The umpiring crew today in this game, third base umpire Mike Rabideau, behind the plate Jeff Kinney, and at first base Jeff Merzel. Shanuel at the plate, left-handed hitter as the pitch comes in and gets away from near eye. McConnell makes his way to second base on the wild pitch. So now runner in scoring position for the Hawks here in the bottom of the first inning with 2 down. Will Johnston and Danny Neareye behind the plate trying to get it together, but that one went astray to the left side. McConnell could just jog his way to second base where he stands now. Looking to plate the first Hawks run of the day. Shanuel still at the plate, 2-1 the count as Johnston looks back. McConnell now deals. Down low, Neareye gets a glove on this one, but it's 3-1. So Shanuel, left-handed hitter at the plate, entering the night with a .224 average. Jorge Corona, the catcher on deck, just 4 for 24 on the summer, limited time, and the batting average down there at 167 for the Hyannis catcher. 3-1 pitch to Shanuel. Breaking ball, bends in there for a strike, 3-2. Johnston just broke one off. That curveball for Johnston sits in the high 70s, and Shanuel was not looking for that. 3-2 the count still with McConnell at second base. 2 away here, bottom of the first inning. Johnston looking in, now deals. 3-2, little low, and Shanuel draws ball 4. 2 on with 2 out here on the bottom of the first inning, and Jorge Corona, the Hyannis catcher, is the hitter. So the Hawks with their first threat today against Johnston, the left-hander out of Keller, Texas, making his second start, 4th appearance of the summer, and having some trouble here in the opening inning.
Yeah, he's, you know, kind of has a loss of command with his curveball here and there, shows it as well, but got to limit the counts. 3 full counts now.
First pitch to Corona, nicks the outside corner. It's 0-1 on the right-handed hitting Hyannis catcher, the number 5 spot today in its lineup. McConnell at second, Shanuel at first here in the bottom of the first inning with 2 away. Johnston on the mound trying to work out of this jam. 0-1. McConnell goes for third, and Corona fouls it off right off the bricks behind the plate. It's 0-2.
McConnell kind of went delayed there. I don't know if it was sort of a bad jump or if that was the plan, but I mean, that ball was halfway at least to home plate, and then McConnell started going. You know, it wasn't off the release of Johnson. It was, oh, you threw it already? Okay, I'm going to go now.
The bases
Yeah.
could have been either one. Delayed steals, double steals, and whatnot. 0-2, the count still on Corona. The pitch, swinging a fly ball to right field. Brutcher in right, tracing over to his left towards the line and makes the catch easily for out number 3. So the Hawks get a hit in the bottom of the first inning and strand a pair. No runs, no errors. As we head on to the top of the second, Stovall, Walsh, and Brutcher. 5, 6, and 7 for Falmouth coming up when we return. You're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Falmouth Commodores Radio Network. Well, we're on to the second inning here at McKeon Park in Hyannis between the Harbor Hawks and Commodores. No score as of yet. Both teams had a hit in the first inning but could not break through. Peyton Stovall is the one to lead things off for the Doors here in the second inning with Jacob Walsh on deck and Drew Brutcher in the hole. 5, 6, and 7 in the Doors lineup coming up against right-hander Jay Driver, who gave up a one-out bloop double to Colby Halter down the left field line in the first inning, but then struck out Borfin to end that threat. First pitch to Stovall, a swing and a bouncing ball to second base. Tricky hop for Nishida, who stays with it and makes the throw on to first for out number 1.
Yeah, tricky to say the least. You know, bounced off the lip. That's something we see at Gov Puller Field a lot, with the inner infield grass at the end where it just bounces up. Dealt with Nishida a little bit, who had to jump and got it a little bit above belt high, but made the easy throw over to first. Nishida has been a glove that's been iffy so far, but he has the speed to keep him over there at second base and in the infield.
He seems to make the tricky plays, doesn't he?
Yes.
Always with that little trademark hop of his. Now Jacob Walsh at the plate. First pitch to him is down low, ball 1, 1-0 with one away, top of the second inning, bases empty, with the Doors taking their second cracks against Jay Driver, right-hander on the mound for Hyannis, starting today. 1-0 delivery. Swing and a miss by Walsh. Big cut, and it's 1-1.
Jacob Walsh in the 6th spot today. You don't often hear that.
He's been living around the cleanup at number 5 spots all year. 1-1 down low in the dirt, 2-1 to Walsh now. But this lineup with a lot of the usual suspects, but Andrew Pinckney is all the way up in the cleanup spot now. Fresh off starting the All-Star game a couple days ago in center field. 2-1 to Walsh, another big swing and another big miss. It's 2-2. With one away, bases empty here, top of the second inning. Jacob Walsh at the plate, left-handed batter against the right-hander Driver. Driver peering in now, turns, and the 2-2. Breaking ball in there for strike 3 called. Second punch out of the day for Driver. That delayed call from Jeff Kinney, the home plate umpire, very deliberate with it, but Walsh knew right away, and he takes to the dugout as out number 2 here in the top of the second inning.
Yeah, with Kinney, it's the vocals that come first. You hear a strike, and then he goes to the late pump. So it's hard sometimes.
First pitch to Drew Brutcher is outside, 1-0, as the Doors have been sat down 1-2 pretty quickly here in the top of the second. Ground out by Stovall, strikeout by Walsh, and there's 2 away with the bases empty. Brutcher at the plate, lefty bat. 1-0 pitch to him. Strike on the inside corner. Fastball from Driver, and it's 1-1. Well, Driver features that fastball and that tight curveball, slider type breaking ball as we've observed so far. 1-1 delivery. At the knees, strike 2. Fastball from Driver. And the count 1-2 on Brutcher, who's up to bat for the first time today, but statistically, as a guy who has been the hottest Doors hitter in the month of July. 333, tied for the best average on the team. 2-2 outside.
Something that Driver's doing really well, he's keeping everything low because he knows that if he leaves something high, something's going to get set in the air. You don't know what's going to happen with this gusty weather today.
2-2. Check swing by Brutcher down low and in. No appeal. He did hold up, and it's 3-2. Well, Driver been working down, and to left-handed hitters, he's been working away. A lot of times they haven't chased, but eventually he comes into the zone, and when he has struck out 2 batters looking so far. 3-2 to Brutcher is a swing and a foul left side over off the netting. Beyond the Hyannis dugout, up above it, and it stays 3-2. So Driver, who was first-team All-Ivy this spring at Harvard as a primary closer for the Crimson. Second in the Ivies in saves as the 3-2 to Brutcher is down low for ball 4. First walk of the day given up by Driver with 2 outs here in the top of the second inning, and that brings up Corey Collins for the first time today.
Yeah, it's good to see Corey back in the lineup in a spot that he's normally at with Georgia. You know, with the Bulldogs this season, he did a lot of DHing and catching, more so serving as the designated hitter. So let's find out what Collins can do here. We know he's capable of the long ball. We saw him do it against Katuitt back on July 17th.
Brutcher at first, 2 down. First pitch to Collins is down low and in. It gets away from Corona, and on to second goes Brutcher. We had a wild pitch in the bottom of the first inning from Will Johnston that moved a runner to second base. Now we see the same in the top of the second. But this time the Hawks are the guilty party. And the Doors have a man at second base with 2 down for Collins, who's been swinging a good bat as of late. 1-0 to Collins. Swinging a line drive left center field. That is going to get down into the left center field gap. Brutcher can walk home as Collins jogs into second base. Flores digs it out. The throw back in, cut off by Jeb. And it's an RBI double for the Doors here in the top of the second inning from Corey Collins.
Great piece of contact. Something I was talking about with Driver, he's leaving pitches low, which is what you want to do. You're not going to get much contact. This one, a little bit too high, you know, a little bit above belt level for Collins to rip backside going all the way to the wall, something Colby Halter did last time we were here against Hyannis in a 3-2 win. Halter sent it all the way to the wall in left center field. Collins doing the same thing, and now Falmouth has its first lead today.
And now Danny Neary at the plate. First pitch to him is a swing and a foul ball left side again. With Collins at second base and 2 down. Now in a 1-0 game, Falmouth leads Hyannis here at McKeon Park. Off the RBI double from Collins that drove in Brutcher from second base. So a 2-out walk coming back to bite Jay Driver. Now trying to shut this inning down with only 1 run across. 0-1 to Neary is down low, about shin level, and it's 1-1. So another lefty bat. Neary at the plate in the number 9 spot for the Doors. So Alex Mooney stands on deck, representing the top of the order. Only 2 right-handed bats in the lineup today for Falmouth. Pinckney leading off, and Pinckney in the cleanup spot rather, and Mooney in the leadoff spot. Inside to Neary was the 1-1 pitch, and it's 2-1.
And that's a usual. This is a left-handed heavy-hitting lineup. You don't really want to see that in Hyannis, knowing it's 358 down the right field line and 324 down the left, but you got to go with what you have, and that's what Falmouth has, a lot of left-handed hitters.
2-1 to Neary. Fastball at the knees, called strike 2, and it's 2-2. Well, Corey Collins put quite a charge into that ball the other way that he hit in the left center field gap. these guys can go oppo today. It would behoove them to do it with that shorter left field. 379 to center here at McKeon Park, and like you said, 358 to right. 2-2 to Neareye, swing and a miss, and that ends the top of the second inning. But not before the Doors get a run. Off of one hit, a big two-out RBI double from Corey Collins. No errors, and Falmouth does strand a man at second base. We head on to the bottom of the second with Earhart, Ruiz, and Flores. 6, 7, and 8 for Hyannis due up. You're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Falmouth Commodores Radio Network. We move on to the bottom of the second inning here at McKeon Park between the Falmouth Commodores and Hyannis Harbor Hawks in a 1-0 game. The Doors now have the lead, courtesy of a two-out RBI double from designated hitter Corey Collins in the top of the second off of right-handed starter Jay Driver for Hyannis. Carter Bainbridge along with Trey Redfield and Logan Safarenko with you here at McKeon Park as the Doors wrap up their regular season series with the Harbor Hawks, trying to salvage a second win with this series already lost for the Doors, 1-4 against the Hawks entering the day. And this the 6th and final matchup this regular season. Drew Earhart, the third baseman, leading things off against Will Johnston, whose first pitch is down low. 1-0 the count. So Earhart, a recent addition to this roster, playing third, hitting sixth today. Right-handed batter against the lefty Johnston. 1-0 pitch. Check swing and a full strike called at the plate by Jeff Kinney, and it's 1-1. So Earhart has the 1-1 pitch, to swing and a fly ball to right field. Gloved by Brutcher on the run to his right in the gap. And there's one away here in the bottom of the second inning. So we'll have to wait to talk a little more about that Tampa University Spartan, who just made the first out here in the bottom of the second. And Pancho Ruiz is the hitter with the bases empty and one down.
And this is a guy we know a lot about. Ruiz has been there the entire season, coming out of San Diego State, where normally he's served as the catching duties against the Doors, but hasn't done that in the last two games. Last time we played the Hawks, he was at first.
First pitch to him is a fastball up at the top of the zone for strike one, called at the plate. With the one away and the bases empty here in the bottom of the second inning. Ruiz DHing and hitting seventh as he swings at this breaking ball and nubs it to second base. Stovall to Johnston, covering the bag in time for out number two. A little bit of urgency over there on the defensive side. Stovall and Walsh both looked at each other expecting the other to field it, but it was Stovall who took charge and fired it over for the 4-1 putout.
There's nothing like a 4-1 putout, is there? And I mean, that's where it comes down to a little bit of miscommunication. You know, Stovall had it. Walsh thought it was going to be his, but he trailed a little bit too much to his right. If I'm Walsh, I'm going straight to that first base bag, but you can't make that judgment quickly. Do what you can do. You know, you got the out there. That'll play, right?
That will play. 2 outs, bases empty, bottom of the second. Tito Flores at the plate looks at ball one as it bounces in front of the plate. It's 1-0. So Flores, a right-handed bat, hitting in the number 8 spot with Riku Nishida on deck. Flores, one of the Hyannis All-Stars this year. One of a couple in this lineup, along with Jeb and Nishida. 1-0 is a swing and a tapper off the plate, 1-1. So Flores, a native of Detroit, does his college playing at the University of Michigan, where he started in 62 games for the Wolverines this spring. Hit .276. Entering the day with Hyannis, he's a .233 hitter with 13 walks so far this summer. Good glove over there in left as well. 1-1 breaking ball stays high for Johnston as the wind howls through here at McKeon Park, and it's 2-1.
And Flores normally does his work as a designated hitter in Michigan. You know, not often do you see him in the outfield, but he's been doing that a lot for Hyannis, serving as mainly the left fielder. But tonight he's not in the DH role. It's Pacho, who just grounded out to second.
It was Flores over there in left field who was victimized by that double back in the first inning by Colby Halter. Looked like a pop-up into foul ground on the left side before it was blown back into play. Flores overran it, but he didn't have a lot he could do on that play. He was at the mercy of the elements. 2-1 to him is up high and tight. It's 3-1. So Flores, a righty bat, trying to get on base for a guy who has made his name known this summer as a fan favorite out in Hyannis here, Riku Nishida. 3-1 pitch to Flores is down low, ball 4, and he does just that. So a 2-out walk for Johnston, the second base on balls today for Falmouth's left-hander. And here's Riku Nishida with 2 down and a man at first base. Now these Hawks can run, and here's a guy at the plate who can do quite a few things, Trey.
Yeah, he will crowd the plate left and right when there's 2 strikes on him. He has the speed. He does also wipes home plate a little bit to clean it off for the home plate umpires. Today it's Jeff Kinney. Nishida does a lot of putting the ball in play, going to the opposite side, and letting his speed do the talking.
First pitch to Nishida, attacking, grounds it to third. Halter taps his glove and throws on to first for out number 3. So the Doors don't buy trouble. They stay out of a bigger inning by retiring the ever-dangerous Nishida on a 5-3 ground out. And that ends things in the second inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and the Hawks leave 1. We head on to the top of the third. Mooney, Halter, and Borfin, the top of the Falmouth order, coming back around when we return. You're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Falmouth Commodores Radio Network. Well, we're on to the top of the third inning here at McKeon Park between the Falmouth Commodores and the Western Division leading Hyannis Harbor Hawks. Well, the Hawks are in first place, but the Doors are in front right now on the road, 1-0, off an RBI double in the second inning from Corey Collins. But now the top of the Falmouth order is coming back around, starting with Alex Mooney, Colby Halter on deck, and Jace Borfin in the hole against right-hander Jay Driver on for inning number 3. First pitch to Mooney's down low and away, breaking ball, and it's 1-0. So far, the Doors with a run on 2 hits, no errors. The Hawks, no runs on a hit and no errors. As Driver turns and fires. Inside, 2-0. So Will Johnston, left-handed starter for Falmouth, has worked through 2 scoreless innings despite allowing 3 base runners so far. 2-0 to Mooney is a swing and a chopper to shortstop. Jeb over to his left, gloves and throws quickly. And again, Mooney out just barely at first base for out number 1. Solid infield defense from that left side for Hyannis.
Yeah, Mitch Jeb has a really good glove as well. It's the reason why he was 3rd team All Big Ten with the Michigan State Spartans this season. And something Jeb did there was quickly get it out. Sometimes you see a couple of pumps from shortstops and third basemen. Jeb had it, immediately threw it because he knew how quick of a runner Alex Mooney is and how tough of an out Mooney is as well.
And because they didn't want to have a guy on base for Colby Halter, who is at the plate right now. First pitch to him is a swing and a miss. Breaking ball had him out in front. 0-1 the count with 1 away. Bases empty here in the top of the third inning. The Doors lead the Hawks 1-0 here at McKeon Park on a gloomy, overcast day. We started this game with the outfield lights on. It was that dark at first pitch. And you can hear the wind blowing through here every now and then. 0-1 to Halter, a little bit below the knees. It's 1-1.
And you got to do whatever you can to get these games in. You know, we're getting into the stretch of the season where there aren't going to be that many off days to make up games. I mean, Catuan in its own case started at 4:30 today against YD.
1-1, breaking ball again too low for Driver. 2-1 the count. And the Kettleers facing off against the YD Red Sox, a game that a month ago probably looked like a championship series preview, but not so anymore. The Kets have been sliding. The Red Sox have been on a tear from start to finish. 2-1 to Halters, a swing and a pop-up left side again. Earhart from third base, sprinting over, it gets turned around and it falls again, this time in foul ground. And you hear the wind roaring through as if to laugh at the Hyannis defense for trying to come up with another one of these pop-ups. These defenses today are at the mercy of this weather. Flores in left, Jeb at short, and Earhart in third all went over there to get that ball, and none of them could come up with it.
Earhart was extremely frustrated when he wasn't able to corral that baseball. He slammed his left hand onto the outfield grass, being upset with himself, and he had a feeling that that was going to happen. I feel like Earhart was moving a little bit too far to his left, and knowing the ball is pushing out towards the outfield, knowing on that side he's going to push towards the right.
2-2 to Halters, a swing and a sharply hit ground ball foul right side. Went foul right near the first base bag. So the count stays 2-2 on Halter with one away, bases empty here in the top of the third inning. So it's an unpleasant day. It's a windy day, but it's not a cold day. It's pretty humid. 2-2 to Halter again. Swing and a miss. Nasty breaking ball down and in. Had Halter waving. And there's the second out here in the top of the third inning with the bases still empty.
And the third strikeout delivered by Driver, excuse me. That's the second one swinging, and the other one came on a looking K from the guy coming up to the plate right now in Jace Borfin.
It was Driver who locked up Borfin with a breaking ball in the zone for a looking strikeout back in the first inning. In a frame that the Doors eventually did not score in. 2 outs, bases empty as Driver deals to Borfin. Strike at the knees, a fastball, and it's 0-1 with Andrew Pinckney on deck here at McKeon Park. Driver getting through his third inning of work today. Left-handed batting Borfin at the plate. 0-1 on the way. Down low and in. Borfin didn't bite, and it's 1-1. Borfin on the season in limited time because he did have that knee injury that kept him out for about a week. 280 coming into the night, 7 first 25. Looks at strike 2 though, 1-2. Fastball on the inside corner, and it's 1-2 with 2 down, and the base is empty. A lot of these Doors have been hitting very well in the month of July though. Borfin at 286 over his last 10 games. 1-2 pitch though is a swing and a miss. Second strikeout in as many at-bats today for Jace. And the Doors go down 1-2-3. No hits, no runs, no errors, and no men left on base. We head on to the bottom of the third inning. Jeb, Sirota, and McConnell, the top 3 in the Hyannis order, coming back around for the second time. You're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Falmouth Commodores radio network. Well, ready to go for the bottom of the third inning here at McKeon Park. The Falmouth Commodores lead the Hyannis Harbor Hawks by a score of 1-0 so far in a game that has pretty much flown by to this point. Just about approaching the 45-minute mark, and we're already almost a third of the way through. Will Johnston, the left-hander on the mound for Falmouth, still out there, facing the top of the order again. Jebb, Sirota, and McConnell, 1, 2, and 3 for Hyannis. As Jebb looks at strike one, a breaking ball that bent over the inner half and had Jebb leaning out of the way. It's 0-1. 0-1 from Johnston. Off the plate this time outside, and it's 1-1. Hyannis so far has had base runners in both innings, a hit and 2 walks, but no runs so far. 1-1 to Jebb. Check swing, called strike. Another good breaking ball from Johnston, this time again coming over the inside corner, and it's 1-2. So Jebb, who enters the evening with a .328 average, 0 for 1 so far today, swings and misses at strike 3. Near-eye up with it, the throw to first in time for the strikeout. Well, nothing doing there for one of the Cape League's premier contact hitters in Jebb. A couple good breaking balls from Johnston had him way out in front, and there's one away here in the bottom of the third inning.
Yeah, premier. You want to talk about how premier? He's top 5 in the CCBL in batting average coming into today with a .328 BA. But Johnston showing off the stuff, you know, finding the lower parts of the zone, trying to fool with this top part of the Hyannis lineup.
First pitch to Sirota on the inside corner, a fastball, and it's 0-1 on the right-handed hitting right fielder. Sirota 0 for 1 today. He struck out back in the first inning. 0-1 breaking balls down low, and it's 1-1 with one away and the bases empty here in the third inning. At McKeon Park, the Hawks up to bat in their home half. 1-1. Too far inside, and it's 2-1. So Hyannis, the top 2 guys in this order, Jebb and Sirota, who started the summer with different Cape teams. They weren't here to start, but the Hawks just picked them up, and they have really contributed. 2-1, swinging a hard-hit ground ball to third base. Halter fields, throws, in time. Walsh pulled off the bag, though, and Sirota is safe. So the throw by Halter had the juice, but wasn't on target. It pulled Walsh just off the first base bag by about a step, and it's an E5 on Colby Halter.
You said it. Halter had the cannon with it, but it's a little offline. I thought Walsh got that tag there, but the net may be giving with me to realize that that just wasn't the case. But
first pitch to Cole McConnell misses down and away, 1-0 with one away, and Sirota now over at first base. First error of the game for Falmouth, and that only adds to the Commodores' Cape League leading total of 57 errors now on the summer. 1-0 to McConnell is a swing and a miss and a breaking ball down low and away from the left-handed batter, and it's 1-1. Sirota, one of the only Hawks who so far has not shown that he is too interested in stealing. Only 1 for 2 this summer with the Hawks in stolen base attempts. 1-1. Swing and a miss by McConnell again. 1-2 the count as Sirota stays put over there at first base.
And Johnson may not know that because the way that Sirota is shuffling over there. He keeps bouncing left and right. And if you're a pitcher, you got to take advantage of that because you catch a runner on a hop, the chances of them getting picked off are pretty high, knowing his feet are not in the dirt.
The 1-2 pitch ready for McConnell. Here it is, swinging a foul back off the bricks, and it's 1-2 still. With Sirota at first base and one away here in the bottom of the third inning. The Doors lead the Harbor Hawks 1-0 here at McKeon Park on a cloudy day. It looks to be threatening with rain, so every run in this game all that much more important because you don't know when this one's going to end. If you make it to 5 innings, it'll be official if we have to stop. Only in the third right now with the Doors up by a run. 1-2 again. Fastball in there for strike 3 called. Another punch out for Johnston. His third on the day. Gets McConnell looking. Keeping Sirota over there at first base with 2 down in the bottom of the third. Nolan Shanuel now the batter.
We've been talking a lot about going low. Find the lower part of the zone to jam, guys. Johnson's using it to his advantage, knowing Jeff Kinney likes that part of the strike zone.
First pitch to Shaniel in there for a strike, and it's 0-1 on the Hyannis first baseman who walked his first time up. And Shaniel does do that a lot. That was his 18th free pass this summer. 0-1 to Shaniel. Breaking ball down low this time, and it's 1-1. So Shaniel adding to his team leading total in walks. Mitch Jebb next on the list with 15. Sirota at first base, 2 down, bottom of the third. Johnston looking over at Sirota. Swinging a foul pop back of the plate. 1-2 over what has become a pretty decent crowd today. We've commented on that earlier in the game. Some people have still filed in. Not a lot of people dressed for rain here, though, Trey, wouldn't you say?
Nope, I would 100% agree with that one.
Maybe they missed the forecast.
I mean, the first time we were here, we thought it was going to rain too, and everyone thought that. Only less than 400 people showed up. 399 was the attendance the first time these two played.
1-2 to Shaniel again. Breaking ball in the dirt, blocked by Nearide. Sirota doesn't go. Hesitated for a moment, but chose not to take the chance, and the count is 2-2 on the Hyannis cleanup hitter. So Will Johnston trying to get through inning number 3 and keep things scoreless on the Hyannis side so far. Johnston, who just finished up his sophomore spring at Texas A&M, looking over Sirota. Now comes to the plate, the 2-2. Swinging a chopper to first base. Walsh diving play to his right and taps the bag for out number 3. Finally done by the Falmouth first baseman to end things here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. 3 unassisted it goes as the Hawks do not score. No hits, 1 error, and they leave a man. We head on to the top of the 4th inning with Pinckney, Stovall, and Walsh. The man who made that play, 4, 5, and 6 in the Falmouth order, due up when we return. You're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Falmouth Commodores Radio Network. We're ready for the top of the 4th inning here at McKeon Park. Falmouth Commodores lead the Hyannis Harbor Hawks by a lone run so far. The only scoring of the day done back in the top of the 2nd when Corey Collins doubled in Drew Brutcher with 2 down to give the Doors an early advantage. Now Andrew Pinckney, Peyton Stovall, and Jacob Walsh, 4, 5, and 6 in the Falmouth order, are coming up to the plate in this top of the 4th inning against right-hander Jay Driver. His first offering to Pinckney is a swing and a foul right back to the netting. It's 0-1. So there's been a little bit of stirring over there in the Hyannis bullpen as we watched it in between the inning. Nobody throwing yet, but Jay Driver is now approaching his longest outing of the summer. Previous high is 3 innings. He did that July 17th against the Bourne Braves. 0-1 to Pinckney's a swing and a foul to the right side this time, back of the netting, and it's 0-2. Pinckney today flew out to end the 1st inning. One of 3 All-Stars in this Falmouth lineup today, along with Mooney and Halter. So 3 of the first 4 hitters in this lineup made it. 0-2 from Driver, way low and away, and it's 1-2. Snagged by Corona on a backhand pick. As Mooney adjusts his footing in the right-handed batter's box and takes a couple half swings. Now raises the bat above the rear shoulder. Driver ready, the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Good breaking ball down and away, just dove off the table. Pinckney went fishing rather and couldn't come up with anything. There's one away here in the top of the 4th inning.
It's now 3 straight strikeouts from Driver. I know you're talking about how he's approaching his longest outing, and now he officially has his longest outing, going 3 1/3. But Driver's grooving right now, even with that earned run. He's only given up 2 hits.
First pitch to Stovall is at the knees, a strike. Fastball called. 0-1 the count on Stovall with 1 out, and the base is clear here in the top of the 4th inning. Left-handed batting Stovall, who's 0 for 1 today against Driver. 0-1. Breaking ball, same spot, same call. 0-2 the count on Stovall. And this now officially, by number of outs, Driver's longest outing of the summer. 3 1/3 so far. Only the 3rd time he's pitched more than 2 innings. 0-2. Swing and a miss. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night to Peyton Stovall. He saw 3 pitches and now represents the 4th consecutive strikeout by Driver, with Jacob Walsh now hitting with the bases empty and 2 down here in the top of the 4th.
Yeah, if I'm Eric Beatty, manager for Hyannis, I'm telling Driver, hey, keep going. Whatever you're doing right now, keep doing it. I mean, this is a tough hitter coming up in Jacob Walsh, but Driver owned him last time up, sending him down looking.
7 strikeouts now for Driver as Walsh lines the first pitch foul, and it's 0-1 over by that Hyannis dugout. So Walsh, big left-handed hitter, 0 for 1 today with a strikeout. Entering the evening, Walsh was hitting 188 to go with 5 home runs, 12 driven in. 0-1 down low, and it's 1-1. Two outs, base is empty here at the top of the 4th inning. 1-0 is your score. The Doors lead. Fouled away by Walsh again. 1-2 the count now with 2 down. So Walsh taken outside that left-handed batter's box for a practice swing. Now steps back in, twirling the bat around in front of him with those high, knee-high maroon socks. Part of his uniform today. Driver's 1-2. Fastball way high, and it's 2-2. The Harbor Hawks in their home whites, blue pinstripes, orange numbers with the blue trim. Jerseys with Hyannis on the front in orange with the blue trim, blue hats. Falmouth, meanwhile, in its road blacks, gray pants. 2-2 to Walsh, a little bit low, and it's 3-2. Awfully close there for Driver. He's thrown that breaking ball at the bottom of the zone for quite a few strikes today, but not there.
Doesn't really help that Corona drop the ball. He may have gotten that had he caught it.
3-2 to Walsh. Swing and a miss. 5 consecutive strikeouts for Jay Driver, and that one ends the top of the 4th inning. 8 on the day for the Hyannis right-hander, who's in a groove. We head on to the bottom of the 4th inning with the Doors leading 1-0. Corona, Earhart, and Ruiz. 5, 6, and 7 for Hyannis due up when we return. Trey Redfield has play-by-play duties the next 2.5. You're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Falmouth Commodores Radio Network.
Welcome back to McKeon Park, where the Commodores are in front of the Harbor Hawks by a score of 1-0 going into the bottom of the fourth inning. With Carter Bainbridge and Logan Safarenko, I'm Trey Redfield. Will Johnson on the mound for his fourth inning of work, taking on Jorge Corona. Lefty on righty matchup, as Johnson's first offering is a curveball that's right down the zone for strike one. Corona last time up, he flew out to right field to close out the bottom of the first inning. Steps back into the right-handed batter's box as the 0-1 comes in. In the dirt, bouncing off the chest protector of Nerai. It's now 1-1. First game back since the All-Star break. It was a 4-1 Eastern Division win over the Western Division. One that featured Colby Halter and Andrew Pinckney starting. The 1-1. Fastball at the knees, strike two. Halter was at third base representing the Commodores. Andrew Pinckney was in center field representing Falmouth. Alex Mooney came in as a late addition, making the team as a utility player. 1-2 from Johnson. Another bouncer, this one a 55-footer that bounces off the chest protector of Nerai yet again. The count is even on Corona, this time at 2. Winds howling towards the outfield fence. The American flag in right center field pushing towards the trees. As the 2-2 comes in, it's a swing and a pop-up on the right side. Walsh moving to his left. He makes the grab in foul territory for the first out. Corona is retired on a foul fly to first base.
Now, Johnson's had to work through base runners in all 3 innings he's pitched so far, but the good thing that's been going for him today is that he has yet to allow a leadoff hitter on base. He's 0 for 4 now, or 4-0, I should say, in those confrontations. And for an aggressive team like Hyannis that likes to run, that's a major thing to have in your belt.
First pitch to Drew Earhart. Curveball misses high and away for ball 1. Earhart making his Harbor Hawk debut today. He's 0 for 1 with a fly out to Drew Brutcher in right field. This season at Tampa, he had 5 home runs, hitting .344 with the Spartans. The 1-0. Fastball inside, a little bit above the knees as well. The count is even at 1 on Earhart. Johnson working quickly from the windup. Deals the 1-1. Inside, this one a little bit more so inside than that last fastball. It misses for a ball. It's 2-1 on Earhart.
We've seen a lot of pretty interesting takes and swings today from these Hyannis hitters. They do not look all that comfortable picking the ball up from Johnston.
It's Falmouth in front of Hyannis 1-0 with 1 on and no one gone. As the 2-1 comes in, sails over the glove of Nerai. That's the second time he's done that, where he's lost control of his pitch, and it's sailed over the glove of Nerai and home plate umpire Jeff Kinney. So 3-1 the count on Earhart in this bottom half of the fourth inning. Doors up 1-0 on the Hawks. The pitch. Swinging a bouncer that doinks off the mask of Nerai. The count is full. We've seen a lot of full counts delivered from Johnson so far. This is the 4th one today and the first one since we've had in the bottom of the first inning. Payoff pitch from Will. Curveball sails high, ball 4. Earhart wins the battle, and he's aboard for the first time this season for Hyannis. Comes on a 3-2 base on balls, and it now brings up Pancho Ruiz, the designated hitter who grounded out to Peyton Stovall in the second. Stovall playing second base today for the Commodores, a spot that he's not really used to. In just 2 games he played at second base for Arkansas. All the other ones coming at first base. So Johnston now working from the stretch, has his sign from Nerai, looks over at first. And the first pitch to Pancho Ruiz. In the zone, strike 1, low and in. That one paints it as much as you possibly could. Ruiz giving a look back to Jeff Kinney, a grimacing one, not liking the strike call. 0-1 on Ruiz, the San Diego State Aztec that had 3 home runs this season over in California. 0-1, this is inside, count even. 1 run, 2 hits, 1 error for Falmouth. No runs, 1 hit, and no errors for Hyannis. Earhart leads off first in this bottom half of the 4th inning. 1-1 the count of Ruiz, 1 gone. Johnson looks at first, kicks and fires to Nerai. Curveball in the dirt, blocked by Nerai, moving to his left side. His view being blocked by Ruiz, who's in the right-handed batter's box. It's now 2-1 on Pancho.
I think it's also helped today when you see some of the swings and some of the ugly takes that Hyannis has had, is that Johnson's been just a tad wild today. Around the strike zone, but uncomfortably wild if you're a Hyannis hitter.
And then there are some times where he also has found the zone, too. He has a couple of strikeouts to his name, Johnson, as the 2-1 comes in. on the inner half, strike 2. Ruiz checked his swing, pulled it back, didn't really matter in the eyes of Jeff Kinney. So it's now 2-2 on Ruiz, who's getting the off night behind the plate. Seen him catch mostly for Hyannis, a couple of games at first base, and in the DH spot tonight, hitting 7th. Tito Flores on deck. The 2-2 from Johnston in the dirt. Count full yet again, back to back.
Now again, I think you see some of the indecision there on that check swing by Ruiz. I don't think these Harbor Hawks hitters are picking the ball up very well out of the hand of Johnston. I think that he's got some good deception going in his windup, or at the very least, is waiting until the last minute to release the pitch, because the Hawks, a lot of the time, don't look all that ready.
Johnson with a payoff. Fastball misses just a bit inside. It's back-to-back 3-2 walks delivered from Johnston. This one for Pancho Ruiz. So Earhart moves to second. Ruiz over at first base. 2 on, 1 gone, bottom 4. Doors up 1-0 on the Hawks with Tito Flores coming up to the plate. And he has walked today, too. That one coming on a 3-1 count in the second. Infield moving towards a double play depth, especially the middle infield. Mooney cheating that second base bag at short. Stovall doing the same on the other side of the infield. Colby Halter straight up, so is Walsh, not holding on Ruiz. Johnson looks back at second from the stretch, and deals the first pitch. Swinging a nub that is dropped in the center field and down for a base hit. Holding up at third is Drew Earhart, and the reason why he's doing that is because Alex Mooney completely fooled him on that. He showed like he was trying to make the grab, which held up Earhart at second base, and now he's over at third. He looks over at Mooney, says, hey, good job there, Alex. But the bases are loaded. Flores aboard with a single. So Earhart on third, Ruiz on second, Flores on first, and it now brings up Riku Nishida.
We saw Mooney do that in the All-Star game. For those of us who watched very closely, he does like to do that decoy play. If you can get away with it. It's a brainy play if you can get away with it, too. Only some guys out there are really good at pulling it off. But what it might have done is just save a run for the Doors. Now you have Nishida at the plate, who is incredibly fast, but also hits the ball on the ground a ton. If he hits it hard at somebody, you could get a double play here, or at least a force at home to keep a run from scoring in this game.
The corners are in. That middle infield still at a double play depth for Nishida, who is 0 for 1 today with a ground out to third. Bases loaded, 1 gone. Doors up 1 in the bottom of the 4th. Johnston steps off the mound, pretends like he's throwing over the second. There's no one there either way. It's just holding on Ruiz, who's over at second base. Lefty on lefty duel. Nishida at the plate. First pitch from Johnston. Fastball misses low and away, ball 1. And the last thing you want to do here, Carter, is walk somebody in. Never want to do an RBI base on balls.
Certainly not. Nishida, a pretty tough guy to walk, though. He's a free swinger. Does have 13 bases on balls to his credit this season, though.
The 1-0. Swinging a line drive, left side, tailing foul just by a foot. That one a close one. Third base coach Eric Beatty, who's also the manager for Hyannis, was moving his arms, telling his guys to go home, but now they all have to go back to their base. Earhart on third, Ruiz on second, Flores on first. 1-1 is the count on Nishida with 1 out in the bottom of the 4th inning. Falmouth is clinging to a 1-0 lead on Hyannis here at McKeon Park. An overcast, gusty evening. The American flag in right center field pushing towards the outfield trees. So if someone gets a hold of one here, it could sneak out. 1-1 to Nishida. Misses high. Ball 2.
There's a lot of things that Nishida does at the plate that makes him an interesting hitter, but it's also hard to get called strikes on this guy. He's 5'6". He goes into that little crouch as a pitch crosses the plate. It's very tough for a home plate umpire to call that.
2-1 to Nishida, misses outside, low and away. It's now 3-1 on the second baseman who's heading to Oregon next season. At Mount Hood Community College this past year in Oregon, he's hitting .415 with 25 RBIs along with 33 stolen bases. 3-1 on Nishida. Johnson working from the stretch. Lefty on lefty duel. 3-1. Fastball that misses outside. Ball 4. An RBI base on balls for Nishida. In the 5 batters that Johnson has faced, 3 of them have been walked. We're now tied at 1 with the bases loaded in the bottom of the 4th inning with 1 out here in McKeon Park.
Well, this Harbor Hawks team doesn't lead the league in runs because they don't walk. They entered tonight 3rd in that category, actually behind Falmouth in 3rd place. But these Hawks do walk quite a bit. They have quite a few guys with 10 or more, at least coming into the evening. Just to rattle off a few names looking around this lineup: Shawnuel, Jeb, Patelli, Matulia, Nishida, one of them, Flores, another. So Johnston's control in this game hasn't been fantastic. He walked a man in the 1st and the 2nd, now has 3 here in the 4th inning. Not exactly what he had in mind for what might be the end of his day. It looks like it is.
It is. Mike Landry pointing towards the bullpen. New pitcher coming in for the Commodores. We'll tell you who it is when we come back here at McKeon Park. Bases loaded in the bottom of the 4th inning with Mitch Jebb coming up. 1-1 your score, Falmouth against Hyannis. You're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Commodores Radio Network. The Commodores in some trouble here in the bottom of the 4th inning. The bases are loaded with 1 out, and the game is tied at 1 with Mitch Jebb coming up to the plate. Will Johnston's night is done after 3 1/3 innings pitched, giving up 2 hits, walking 5, and striking out 3. The runs have not been filled out just yet because Johnston is responsible for every single runner on base. Coming in for him, Carter, is Nolan Moore, left-handed pitcher out of Lafayette.
This is Moore's 3rd appearance of the summer, but it doesn't tell the whole story. He was here opening day, played against Harwich, then was cut, then came back to play for the Doors after a stint in the Futures League with the New Britain Bees.
First pitch to Mitch Jebb, curveball on the outer half for strike 1. Jebb is 0 for 2 today. He struck out on a 2-3 put out, that is. It was an incomplete strikeout until Danny Neerai made the throw over to Jacob Walsh at first in the 3rd. The 0-1 to Jebb. Another curveball, swinging a bouncer on the right side. Walsh picks it up, moving to his right. Throw over to second is there, but the throw gets away over at first base. Mooney sails it over the head of Moore. Coming in to score are a couple of Harbor Hawks. Ruiz and Flores tapping home plate. It's now 3-1 Hyannis with 2 gone in the bottom of the 4th inning. With just 1 man on now, it's Mitch Jebb moving over to second on the throw. It just gets tougher and tougher for Falmouth, whether it's walks or errors. Not really showing it the best here, though.
Well, Mooney has had his problems with errors so far this summer. For all the good he's done, he has more than any player on this team. That's now his 12th misplay on the summer. And again, for Falmouth, the defense just driving them nuts against this Harbor Hawks team. 5 errors in these last 2 teams' matchup. 2 today.
First pitch to Mike Sirota misses low, and Jebb takes advantage, stealing 3rd without a throw. So Jeb taking advantage with his speed. He's second on Cape Cod in stolen bases behind his teammate Riku Nishida. So 1-0 the count on Sirota. More deals. Curveball swinging a bouncer right side foul. Trickling all the way into the grass over on the right side. Commodore bat boy William Fideli picks it up, throws it over to the Hyannis side over on third base. So it's 1-1 on Sirota. Right fielder who is 0 for 2 today, reaching base being E5 in the third. 1-1. That's a slow pitch, and it's swinged and popped up to the right side, foul and out of play. Moore going with the off speed and then some there. So 3-1 is your score. Bottom fourth, 2 gone with a man on third. It's Mitch Jebb who just stole third base. 3-1 your score. Falmouth trailing Hyannis. 1-2 the count on Sirota. Lefty on righty duel. Moore working from the stretch. Kicks and fires the 1-2. Swinging a tip that bounces out of the glove of Nerai. Bounce into the dirt as well, so we'll do the 1-2 again. So 2 errors today by Falmouth now moves itself up to 58 total on the season, the most on Cape Cod. 1-2 pitch, misses outside, ball 2, count even.
And it's just too bad because the play was there. Mooney just let the throw sail on him a little bit. Jacob Walsh is a tall guy playing first base, but even he couldn't come down with that throw. So a couple more runs on the tape for Will Johnson in this game.
And Moore was over there at first base too. Could have been a 3-6-1 double play. 2-2 pitch in the dirt, blocked by Nerai, moving slightly to his left, keeping it in front of him, and the count is full. Mitch Jebb over on third base, 90 feet away from being Hyannis' 4th run in not just this game, but also in this bottom half of the 4th inning. Moore has this sign from Nerai, kicks and fires to the payoff, swinging a line shot left side, bouncing off the bag, fair ball. Jebb comes in to score, rounding first, going for second is Sirota. The throw is in time, they got him. That run does score from Jebb. So Hyannis with an eruption in the bottom of the 4th inning. 4-1 your score. The Commodores trailing the Harbor Hawks going into the top of the 5th inning with Brutcher, Collins, and Nerai 7, 8, 9 due up for the doors. You're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Commodores Radio Network. The Commodores with some work to do going into the top of the 5th inning, trailing the Harbor Hawks by a score of 4-1 here at McKeon Park. Jay Driver is on for his 5th inning of work and looking for his 6th straight strikeout. Drew Brutcher steps into the left-handed batter's box. Driver working from the windup has his sign, and the righty deals with his sidearm motion outside for ball 1. So 1-0 on Brutcher, who walked on a 3-2 count in the second, serving as Falmouth's lone run scored. Driver shakes off Corona not once but twice, his battery mate. As the 1-0 comes in, finds the outer half, letter level for strike 1 on Brutcher.
And Driver's impressiveness lately is even more so because this is now his longest outing of the summer, and he never pitched this deep into a game at Harvard this spring either.
1-1. Curveball swinging a line drive, right side foul. Picking it up was Nolan Shanuel over at first base as far as you can go onto the infield dirt. That's a foul ball called by first base umpire Jeff Merzel. So it's now 1-2 on Drew. South Florida Bull, who hit .299 this season.
The driver's longest outing with the Crimson this spring, 3 2/3. Longest with the Hawks before today, this summer, 3 flat.
He had 4 saves in Cambridge this year as the 1-2 comes in, misses outside, ball 2. So 2-2 on Brutcher, nobody on, no one gone at the top of the 5th inning. 4-1 your score. Falmouth trailing Hyannis here at McKeon Park. Last time the Doors will have to head here in the regular season. The 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Driver goes with an elevated fastball and gets Brutcher for now his 6th straight strikeout. There's one gone here in the top of the 5th.
And with each passing K, it just gets even more impressive for Driver. He started off this game using his breaking ball a little more, but that fastball has found some extra life as he's gone deeper into this game. He's elevated it to a couple different hitters. Stovall and Brutcher in particular come to mind. They went up at about shoulder level and just couldn't catch up with the high heat.
Now it brings up Corey Collins, who Driver actually had some struggles with in the second. Collins attacked on the first pitch. It was a line drive double to left center field in the second inning. First pitch to Corey, a little bit above the knees, going with the fastball as Driver for strike 1.
Collins, one of the only guys today who's really made hard contact against Driver. Only 2 hits for the Doors so far, and one was a blooper to left.
From Colby Halter as the 0-1 comes in, it's a swing and a nub foul behind the catcher Corona and home plate umpire Jeff Kinney. So it's now 0-2 on Collins, who was in a spot that he's at right now, designated hitter. That's where he normally played at Georgia this season. Had 8 home runs in Athens, GA with the Bulldogs. 0-2 the count on Collins. Driver awaits his side, working from the windup, kicks and fires. High and outside, ball 1.
Since that Collins double, Driver has sat down the next 8 hitters in order, and 7 of them have been via strikeout.
Driver was 1-1 this season at Harvard with a 1.91 ERA in 28 1/3 innings pitched. The 1-2. Slider misses high and outside. It's now 2-2 on Collins, who's worked the count even. Driver comes from Wellesley, Massachusetts, where he was a team captain for his baseball team his senior year. He was also on the Alpine skiing team over in Wellesley, just a little bit outside of Boston. The 2-2. Slider misses the outer half. That was a close one. It's now 3-2 on Collins. The count is full.
Collins has been laying off those pitches all month long. In July, no Commodore hitter has more walks than Corey, to go along with 2 doubles and a home run in July.
Payoff pitch misses low for ball 4. That's as close as you can possibly get in the lower part of the zone. And the streak of Jay Driver's 6 consecutive strikeouts is snapped. It was a good run, though, I'll tell you that.
Tip your cap to Driver, as we now see a meeting on the mound between Corona and a Hyannis coach. If this is the end of Driver's day, awfully impressive stuff from this right-hander, but you figure that Collins might be the one to finally shake things up. He of the 148 average, but also 14 walks. It seems like Collins has been laying off those pitches all month long. No matter how close they are, he always seems to have the nerves of steel to lay off.
Collins having the best line right now offensively for the Doors. He's 1 for 1, and now with that 3-2 walk coming here in the top of the 5th inning. 4-1 is your score. Man on first is Collins, 1 gone. Falmouth trailing by 3 here at McKeon Park. As there will be no pitching change just yet for Hyannis. Driver is going to stay in the game. Austin Amaril's warming up over in the bullpen in left field for Hyannis. Right-handed pitcher out of Stetson. But at the plate, it's Danny Neary. Catcher out of Notre Dame. Steps into left-handed batter's box. Righty on lefty duel. Driver working from the stretch. First pitch, swinging a line drive left side, fouling out of play. Bouncing over to screen and into the left field bleachers here in McKeon Park. It's kind of up on a hill. It's actually a pretty cool setup over there. Not a bad view in that spot as well, I bet. Driver comes set, having his sign from Corona, kicks and fires with the 0-1. Slider right down Broadway, strike 2 on Neary, who has gone down swinging today on an 0-2 count. On a 2-2 count, excuse me, that came in the second.
Strikeouts are all cool and all, but I bet you Driver wants a double play right here. Breaking ball on the outer half may just get it.
0-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Driver gets another K. That's his 10th on the evening. There's 2 gone in the top of the 5th inning. Alex Mooney coming up to the plate. Falmouth trailing by 3 in Hyannis.
And I was about to say, just to that point, of course Driver wants a strikeout, but the reason he wanted the DP was because he could get out of this inning 5 strong without having to face Alex Mooney.
But now just 1 force out can get Hyannis out of this. Mooney, a tough out, not really showing it today. He's 0 for 2, and he looks at strike 1, a fastball in the outer half that he doesn't really like. Gives a stern look over to the first base dugout, trying not to look at home plate umpire Jeff Kinney. So 0-1 the count on Mooney. Collins on first. Driver kicks and fires. Slider, swing and a miss, strike 2. Nasty pitch from Driver, sweeping away from Mooney in the right-handed batter's box. Alex went after it, and he's now 1 strike away from being Driver's 11th K. Collins on first. 2 gone, top 5. Doors down 4-1 to the Hawks. 0-2 the count on Mooney. Driver kicks and fires. Outside, ball 1.
We've seen pitchers this summer with more individual pitches, but Driver leaning heavily today on that fastball and the breaking ball. Both just have explosive late movement today. You see some of the swings from the Commodores, they'll let you know. This stuff is real good today.
The 1-2 from Driver. Swing and a miss, strike 3. I'll tell you what, Jay Driver is dealing. That may have been some of the best 5 innings that we have seen on Cape Cod this season. Giving up just 1 earned run, giving up 2 hits, and striking out 11 batters. If you're the Harbor Hawks, that'll play. They're coming up in the bottom of the 5th inning with McConnell, Shanuel, and Corona due up the heart of the order for Hyannis coming up after this. 4-1 your score, Falmouth trailing. You're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Commodores Radio Network. The Commodores trying to keep it at a score of 4-1 with Falmouth trailing to Hyannis. Moving into the bottom of the 5th inning with Carter Bainbridge and Logan Safarenko. I'm Trey Redfield. So glad you're with us tonight for the Doors and Hawks. As Nolan Moore is back on the mound. He's 2/3 of an inning through, coming in for Will Johnson, taking on Cole McConnell. First pitch to McConnell. Slider that is on the outer half in the zone for strike 1. So lefty on lefty duel. McConnell today is 1 for 2, with a single in the first. He swings at the 0-1 foul, bouncing softly to the right side towards the Commodores dugout over at first base. So it's 0-2 on McConnell. He's been the everyday center fielder for the Harbor Hawks this season. Comes out of Louisiana Tech where he hit .336 along with 9 home runs and 76 RBIs. The 0-2 from Moore in the dirt. Going with the changeup this time, and Nerai keeping it in front of him, bouncing off the chest protector. It's 1-2 on McConnell.
You look at McConnell's numbers so far this year against the Doors, now including a 1 for 2 today. Coming into the night, hitting .118 in 5 contests against the Doors.
1-2 pitch. Swinging a fly ball towards left field. Moving to his left is Borfin, trotting and making the catch head high for the first out. Good read from Jace Borfin in this gusting wind here at McKeon Park. There's one gone in here in the bottom of the 5th inning, with the Commodores trailing the Harbor Hawks by a score of 4-1.
I was going to say, when you look up and down this lineup of the guys who have played so far this summer against the Doors, as a team, the Hawks coming in tonight hit just .218 over the first 5 matchups.
First pitch to Nolan Shanuel, strike 1 at the knees. Slider delivered from Moore, the Lafayette Leopard.
You wonder how they keep having these explosive innings.
0-1 pitch, Moore working quickly, misses outside for ball 1.
Well, it's because the Hawks have stolen in those first 5 games, those 9 bases, and pitched to a 2.8 ERA.
1-1 from the windup, misses low and away, scooped up by Neary with his glove. It's now 2-1 on Shanuel, who comes out of Florida Atlantic. And a great season with the Owls. He was first team all CUSA. The 2-1. At the knees, strike 2. Nice changeup there from Moore. He doesn't show much velocity. Something that Moore likes to do is just paint the corners. 2-2 pitch. Couldn't paint it that time. Missing low and away in the dirt. Bouncing in a right-handed batter's box. The count is full on Shanuel, who last time he's seen a full count came on a base on balls in the first. Payoff pitch. Swinging a shot to center field. Pinckney coming in and making the grab. That one died in the wind. That looked so good off the bat, but then the wind just killed that thing. Pinckney hardly had to move, just slightly to his left, catching the ball belt high for the second out here in the bottom of the 5th. 4-1 your score. Falmouth trailing Hyannis.
Shanuel hit that ball well, but as it was flying out to Pinckney, it almost looked like it was knuckling in the
air.
It didn't have a lot of spin. And the wind here is blowing out, occasionally harder than some other times.
First pitch to Jorge Corona, swinging a line drive over to shortstop. Mooney makes the grab, moving to his left, just a little bit below the belt, extending with that left hand for the final out here in the 5th. So the Harbor Hawks go down in order, 1, 2, 3, the Hyannis heart of the order, that is. Nolan Moore makes it look so easy. We head into the top of the 6th inning with Halter, Borfin, and Pinckney due up for Falmouth, trailing by a score of 4-1 here at McKeon Park. You're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Commodores Radio Network. Top of the 6th inning here at McKeon Park, where the Commodores trail the Harbor Hawks by a score of 4-1. Jay Driver's evening is done after 5 innings pitched, so he's eligible for a decision, giving up 2 hits, just 1 earned run, walking 2, and striking out 11. We were having a debate on which one was the better performance. We saw one at Yarmouth Dennis in Game 1, where Jared Lyons struck out 12 in 6 innings pitched. We couldn't find a clear winner with that one because Driver was so good, Carter.
Just a dominant start, as good as we've seen in and around the Cape this summer. Overpowering fastball today with good movement. Snapped off that breaking ball for strikes more consistently early on than later, but certainly had it working enough to keep the Doors off balance through his 5 innings. So he's eligible for the win today, up by 3. And this game's now official, partner. We were worried about that with this weather. Of course, the Doors hoping it doesn't end in this next half inning, trailing by 3. 2, 3, and 4 in the order, trying to take their first cracks against new Hyannis pitcher.
Yeah, his name is Austin Amaral, right-handed pitcher out of Stetson, who led the Hatters in appearances and ERA this season. He had 20 games in his pitching for Stetson, starting in 3 of them. The ERA at a 3.17. He's taking on Colby Halter to start off the top of the 6th inning. Falmouth trying to get back onto the scoreboard. Just one put up in the top of the 2nd thanks to an RBI double from Corey Collins. First pitch from the righty Amaral. Fastball too high. It was head high for ball 1. Halter has himself a double today, and what was a bloop double. Started in foul territory, but the wind pushed it just a little bit to the right of the left field line. The 1-0. Swinging a pop-up. Left side fouling out of play over to third base grandstand. So this count is even on Halter, who started at third base for the Western Division All-Stars in the CCBL All-Star game in Wareham on Saturday. Halter choked up on the back in the left-handed batter's box. Amaral with the 1-1. Fastball too high, ball 2.
Amaral, one of these Stetson University hatters. We had one for a while this season with Anthony DeFabia. Amaral, a college teammate of his, features a fastball and a slider as his primary breaking pitch. Some deception in that motion, too, watching him pitch for the first time this summer.
His left foot is unparalleled with his right. Moves it back a little bit, fires a 2-1. There's that slider. It's swung on and bounced to the right side, doinking off the Commodores dugout over at first base. So it's 2-2 on Colby. That's the count he struck out swinging on in the 3rd.
Amaral's got that slow leg raise with the front foot, and as he's doing that, he's got the pitch in his hand, hiding behind his back hip. And then he just kind of comes forward and flings it right to the plate over the top.
The 2-2 to Halter. Curveball, swinging a shot to right field. Going back is Sirota. He's looking up. It bounces off the scoreboard and gone. Colby Halter with a leadoff solo home run in the top of the 6th inning puts Falmouth back on the board. 4-2 your score. Falmouth trailing Hyannis with no one gone here in the top of the 6th.
Not only does that blast cut this Hyannis lead to now 2 runs, but what it does is give Colby Halter a share of the league home run lead, along with Tyler Johnson of Katuitt, now both with 7 on the season.
First pitch to Jace Borfin. Fastball right down Broadway, strike 1. Johnson was in the home run hitting contest on Saturday, representing the Katuitt Kettleers. Halter was not. Some would consider a highway robbery on the Falmouth Commodores. The 0-1 misses low and inside. Ball 1 on Borfin, who has struck out twice today, but that got out in a hurry. Halter may need to thank the wind after this one. It's gusting towards the outfield. 1-1 misses inside. Borfin having to move his ankles away from home plate in the left-handed batter's box. It's 2-1 on Borfin.
And not just howling out, but exactly out to right field, especially if you just take a look at that flag.
2-1 pitch. High and tight, ball 3. Not the most ideal start for Amaral. That was the first batter he faced, Colby Halter, and he sent it over the right field fence. The 3-1. Swing and a miss, a nasty slider delivered by Amaral, and the count is full, 3-2. Nobody on, no one gone in this top half of the 6th inning. Falmouth trailing Hyannis 4-2. Amaral from the windup, the payoff pitch. Slider misses inside, ball 4. Good eye from Borfin, getting on base for the first time today, and now brings up Andrew Pinckney, serving as the tying run. And we know this guy can get a hold of one.
You figured today, watching the wind, that it was going to be easy to hit home runs today, but it's tough for the Doors to do that when they couldn't make contact for the first 5 innings, but no fault of theirs. Jay Driver was just that good for Hyannis. 11 strikeouts.
It's Borfin that leads off first base. Andrew Pinckney at the plate. Righty on righty duel. Amaral from the stretch. Pinckney shows bunt, pulls it back. Fastball too high for ball 1. That would have sailed over the head of Pinckney if it was directly towards him. Pinckney today is 0 for 2 with a strikeout on a 1-2 count to lead off the top of the 4th. Amaral comes set, working from the stretch. Kicks and fires with the 1-0. Pinckney shows bunt again, and it's tipped off the bat, of Andrews. It's now 1-1 on the center fielder.
That's not something we've seen Andrew have to try and do this summer a lot, to be sure.
Pinckney comes out of Alabama, where he hit .303, along with 7 home runs and 32 RBIs for the Crimson Tide. 1-1 to Pinckney. Slider misses outside. Ball 2.
Now you understand the sentiment here. The Doors want to try to get as many runs as they can with time questionably short in this game. We know that they only got 7 innings over in at Lowell Park. Kitsu had won that game pretty convincingly over YD, but there's rain moving around the Cape today.
2-1. Borfman goes. Strike 2. Throw down the second is not in time. Nishida had it but lost him when Borfman was coming in. So Borfman is safe at second base with a dirty jersey. Dirt all over that road black uniform along with the gray pants over on his right thigh. So 2-2 the count on Pinckney at the plate. Borfman steals a bag. He's over at second now.
For all the good Nishida does and all the entertainment he provides, that stolen base is on him because he should have had that tag. You almost wish there was a stat to charge it to the infielder if there was such a thing, because that would be one.
No one out. Borfman on second. Commodores trailing by 2 in the top of the 6th. 2-2 to Pinckney. Swinging a line drive, right side, foul and out of play, going into the Hyannis trees over the Falmouth dugout over at first base. So we'll do the 2-2 again. Pinckney's a guy that got better as the year went along in Tuscaloosa, leading the Tide with doubles, runs, and slugging. Borfman on second. 2-2 the count on Pinckney. No one gone in the top of the 6th. Amaral comes set, looks back at second and fires. Swinging a ground ball over to shortstop. Jeb fields it at his ankles. Chuck over to first. A bouncer that gets away from Shanuel over at first. Going over to third is Borfman, running into second with an awkward slide as Pinckney, putting his hands over the second base bag. So now there are 2 runners on for the Commodores, with no one gone in the top of the 6th inning. Peyton Stovall coming to the plate, with his Commodores trailing the Harbor Hawks by a score of 4-2.
I was about to say I'd be awfully surprised if they don't already give Pinckney an infield hit there, and now they do. So an infield hit and an E6, advancing both runners an extra base. I think an ill-advised choice by Jeb to even throw that ball. Pinckney was tearing down the line, and that throw came in, skipping off the dirt right as Pinckney had already crossed the bag. He's trying to get a hard, fast runner through it, and very hard as well. I saw it coming out of the hand, just a little wild. And now the momentum in favor of the guys wearing black.
Pinckney's as fast as a cheetah. He shows it out in center field. First pitch to Peyton Stovall, swinging a ground ball right side foul, bouncing towards the Falmouth bullpen over in right field. So it's 0-1 on Stovall, who is 0 for 2 today. Went down swinging on 3 pitches last time up, and that came in the 4th. Borfman on third, Pinckney on second, serving as the tying run. Stovall the go-ahead run at the plate, down 0-1. The pitch. Slider, swing and a miss, strike 2. Amaral in his first inning of work after Jay Driver had a dominant performance. 5 innings pitched, striking out 11, giving up just 2 hits and 1 earned run. Amaral comes set, working from the stretch, kicks and fires. Fastball that misses just a bit inside and a little low too. It's now 1-2 on Stovall. The Hyannis crowd wanted that one.
Well, this lower part of the strike zone today has been a guessing game for whatever reason. Sometimes it's a strike, sometimes it's not. It's not, at least from our vantage point, it's been hard to tell from home plate umpire Jeff Kinney.
Righty on lefty duel. Amaral with the 1-2. Swinging a line drive over the head of Jeb at shortstop. It gets down for a base hit. Borfman comes home to score. Pinckney does as well following Borfman. We are tied at 4 with no one gone in the top of the 6th. Peyton Stovall in the clutch with a 2-run RBI single.
A good piece of hitting from the left-handed batting Stovall, taking it the other way over the head of Jeb, like you said, right into left center field. Borfman and Pinckney read that ball pretty well, and we are suddenly tied up in a game that the Hawks had played to a formula that they've followed so many times. Bust out for a big inning and then use pitching and defense to salt leads away. But no such luck here for Austin Amaral. He gets through, well, no thirds of an inning.
No
Doesn't
thirds.
get anybody out.
Amaral faced 4 batters, giving up no outs. Well, getting nobody out, that is, but giving up 3 runs. He paves way for, well, we don't know yet. We'll actually tell you after this. 4-4 your score. Falmouth and Hyannis tied at McKeon Park with Jacob Walsh coming up to the plate with nobody out and no one on. You're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Commodores Radio Network. Well, if you're just joining us, you've missed a lot. Falmouth was trailing 4-1 going into the top of the sixth, but now it's worked its way back to a tie game at 4 with no one gone in the top of the sixth. It's now Chase Santala on the mound for the Harbor Hawks after Austin Amaral could not record an out. Jacob Walsh at the plate with Peyton Stovall on first. He looks at strike one on the outer half. Walsh down 0-1, a guy who has struck out twice today.
Santala, one of the Hawks' premier relievers, especially as of late. This is fifth appearance, carries a 1.17 ERA entering this evening in his first 7 2/3, along with 2 saves.
The 0-1 from Santala on the low and outside corner. Misses for ball 1. Jeff Kinney came up thinking that he was going to call it a strike, but then changed his mind last second. So the count even on Walsh. Stovall on first. We're tied at 4 with no one gone in the top of the sixth. Righty on lefty matchup. Santala from the stretch, kicks and fires. Slider in the dirt, misses inside. Backhanding it is Corona, the catcher. So it's 2-1 now on Walsh.
Santala was a reliever at UCF this spring as well with the Knights. Had a 4.85 ERA in 23 games, 20 of them out of the bullpen.
Came over from Florida in Gainesville. The 2-1. Fastball swinging a pop-up, left side, fouling out of play. Over the grandstand at third base. The count is even at 2 on Walsh. So Santala from UCF in Orlando, came over from Florida in Gainesville. He was born in Tampa, Florida. Kind of considered a Florida man. Santala comes set, 2-2 pitch. Slider misses low and inside. The count is full on Walsh for the second straight at-bat. 4 runs, 5 hits, 2 errors for Falmouth. 4 runs, 3 hits, 1 error for Hyannis. Stovall leads off first. Holding him on is Shanuel over at first base. Payoff pitch to Walsh. Fastball misses low for ball 4. That was around the knees, but Jeff Kinney awards first base to Jacob Walsh, moving Stovall over to second.
This isn't the guy you want to face.
Nope.
Drew Brutcher this season hitting .276 against right-handers, but more importantly, the month of July, he has absolutely torn it up. 6 doubles, 2 home runs, hitting .405 over his last 10 games entering the evening.
Stovall on second, Walsh on first. Nobody out in the top of the sixth. Falmouth and Hyannis are tied at 4. Drew Brutcher at the plate. First pitch to him. Misses low. Ball 1. Did he go around? He did not. Brutcher thought about swinging at the slider that missed low. Corona catching it in the dirt. But Brutcher is ahead 1-0. Drew was the first run scored that came in the top of the second. After that, it was 4 runs put up by Hyannis in the bottom of the 4th. And now Falmouth is in a 3 spot in the top of the 6th. 1-0. Fastball a little bit above the knees. Strike 1, count even. And Falmouth is still working in this top of the 6th with nobody out. Stovall's on second, Walsh on first. 4-4 your score. Corey Collins on deck. He is 1 for 1 today with an RBI double. Righty on lefty matchup. Santala deals. Fastball misses low, a little bit below the knees this time. It's now 2-1. The Doors with an opportunity to have their first lead since going into the bottom of the 4th inning. The 2-1 from Santala. Slider misses low and inside. 3-1 now on Drew. He has walked today. That came in his first plate appearance in the 2nd. The other one, he went down swinging to lead off the 5th on a 2-2 count. Stovall on second, Walsh on first. Neither one being held on. 3-1 the 6th. Santala looks back at second, kicks and fires. Swing and a miss. Strike 2, count full. The Commodores looking to start a winning streak. Last time they were in action was on Friday in a 10-3 win over the Bourne Braves at Dorn Park. Santala awaits his sign from his battery mate Corona. Comes set from the stretch. Looks back at second. Kicks and fires the payoff. Swinging a rope into center field. McConnell makes the grab. Stovall thought about tagging, goes immediately back to second after McConnell throws it to Mitch Jebb at shortstop, who fields it knee high. So finally, Hyannis records an out. 1 gone, runners hold at second and first. Corey Collins coming up to the plate in a 4-4 tie between the Doors and Hawks here at McKeon Park.
When you're hitting like Brutcher has been over the past, 17 games and change this month, even your outs are hard, and that one was. Scorched off the bat to center field, unfortunately, just right to McConnell, who was standing out there. But now Collins at the plate, a guy who has walked a lot, and when he does make contact, has hit it very hard.
Well, Collins has done both of those today. He's forced a 3-2 walk. He also has an RBI double. First pitch to Corey, check swing foul that bounces off the backstop directly behind home plate. So it's 0-1 on Corey on an excuse me swing. Stovall on second base. He brought in both Borfin and Pinckney on a 2-run RBI single. Walsh is on first. He walked on a 3-2 count. No balls, 1 strike on Corey Collins, the DH out of Georgia. Santala comes set, kicks and fires. Fastball, strike 2. A little bit on the inner half. It was a spot that looked a little bit right down Broadway, some would say. 4 runs, 5 hits, 2 errors for Falmouth. 4 runs, 3 hits, 1 error for Hyannis. Righty on lefty matchup. Santala still working for his sign, looking for his sign, excuse me. He has it, comes set, peeks back at Stovall at second. Jebb playing with Stovall over there, and he fires the 0-2. Slider misses low and inside for ball 1. Santala wanted that one, shrugging his shoulders a little bit, stepping back onto the rubber. But it's 1-2 on Collins. Corey with an opportunity to bump up his RBI total today. Already has 1. Could bring in Stovall to put Falmouth back in front here. 1-2 pitch. Swinging a ground ball up the middle and through for a base hit. Stovall rounding third. He's going to come home to score. The Commodores are back in front. An RBI single from Corey Collins puts Falmouth up 5-4 with 2 on and 1 gone in the top of the 6th. Walsh going over to second base.
We've talked about how Collins has been swinging the bat this month. OPS over 700 in the month of July. He's been walking a lot, but today has doubled his season RBI total. Came into the evening with 2, now has 4. 2 tonight, 1 in the second, now 1 here in the 6th inning. Even bigger than the first because it just put the Doors in front.
First pitch to Danny Neary, swinging a ground ball over to shortstop. Jeff Fields tosses second for 1, over to first for 2, not in time. Danny Neary, the catcher out of Notre Dame, beats it out, but a 6-4 fielder's choice gets Collins out. Going over to third is Walsh. There are runners at the corners with 2 gone in the top of the 6th. Falmouth now leading again on Hyannis by a score of 5-4. Alex Mooney coming up to the plate, serving as the 9th hitter in this top half.
That's why that incompletion of that double play is so big, because now it brings up the top of the Falmouth order again. Alex Mooney now in his 4th at bat today.
Mooney's 0 for 3. Last time he was up, he struck out swinging on a 1-2 count in the 5th. Looks at ball 1 here in the 6th. So 1-0 on Alex. The Duke Blue Devil hit .292 this season, earning him a spot on the ACC All-Freshman team. Walsh on third, Nerai on first. 1-0 to Mooney. Slider misses outside and a little low as well. It's 2-0.
We've seen that from a couple different hitters. That slider from Sintala has really good downward break, late break, but these hitters, for whatever reason, just aren't buying it.
Sintala comes set, still working from the stretch, kicks and fires. Fastball, swinging a fly ball to left field. Going back is Flores, all the way to the track, all the way to the wall. He leaps and he makes the grab. Wow, what a grab from Tito Flores to close out the top of the 6th. May want to call the cops because Alex Mooney just got robbed. We go into the bottom of the 6th inning after Falmouth exploded in the top half with 4 runs of its own. 5-4 your score. You're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Commodores Radio Network. Well, sorry for that cough if you just heard that. Had to swallow down some popcorn going into the bottom of the 6th inning. The Commodores are back in front by a score of 5-4 over the Harbor Hawks. First pitch to Drew Earhart is a ball that's low and inside. So 1-0 the count on Earhart. Nolan Moore is through an inning of 2/3. He's on for somewhat of his 3rd inning of work as the 1-0 comes in, misses low, ball 2. Earhart today is 0 for 1. He walked on a 3-2 count. One of the run scorers in the bottom of the 4th inning. 4 of them put it by Hyannis in that bottom half. 2-0 misses low. Yet again, it's now 3-0 on Earhart. One of the newest Harbor Hawks on the block. He's making his first appearance today, coming out of Tampa, D2 school in Florida in the Sunshine State Conference. 3-0 misses low and outside, ball 4. A leadoff 4-pitch walk delivered by Moore to Earhart, who's getting a base on balls for the 2nd time today.
Promised we'd talk about Earhart a little more later on in this game when he made a first pitch out his last time up, but this guy's been around Tampa U forever. He was a grad transfer this season, grad student I should say. 208 games in his career with the Spartans.
My goodness.
326 career hitter though, he can swing the bat.
I mean, yeah, that'll play at least. First pitch to Pancho Ruiz is swinging a fly ball to right center field. Brutcher trailing to his right from right field and makes the grab, extending his left arm to make the catch in right center field. 1 on, 1 gone, bottom 6, doors up 1 on the Hawks.
Well, Ruiz hasn't hung around long when he's been in the batter's box, has he?
Nope. He, what was it? In the 2nd, he grounded out to 2nd on an 0-1 count. He did work a full count in the 4th that he walked on, but, I mean, other than that, yeah, you're right. Now it's Tito Flores, who in the top half made a great catch, robbing Alex Mooney of a 3-run home run. He steps in the right-handed batter's box. First pitch from Moore. Strike 1 on the inner half. Nice slider coming in from the lefty out of Lafayette. who's making his second stint here with Falmouth this season. He pitched in the season opener, got released, came back. His re-debut, some would say, was against Harwich. More with the 0-1. In the dirt, Eri blocks it, moving to his left behind Flores in that right-handed batter's box. It's now 1-1 on the Michigan Wolverine.
I think it's fair to call that for Moore because he really was kind of like starting all over again when he came back here. He was a starter down in the Futures League in between his stints here with Falmouth. 4 starts with the New Britain Bees, where he pitched fairly well.
The 1-1. Swinging a ground ball left side. Halter has it moving to his right. The throw to second is over the head of Stovall. Another throwing error for Halter. The throw in the third from the right fielder Drew Brutcher is not in time. That's a tough break for Colby. That's Falmouth's third error tonight, and it moves Earhart over to third base. Getting the first on the throwing error is Flores. So now there are runners at the corners. Flores serving as the go-ahead run, and Riku Nishida coming up to the plate. Falmouth has to do whatever it can here to force some sort of double play. It's going to be hard with Nishida, the fastest player on Cape Cod, Carter.
His speed was voted as one of the best tools on Cape Cod. You hear scouts talk about those tools: hit for power, speed, arm, all that stuff.
First pitch, Nishida shows bunt, pulls it back, misses high for ball 1.
This guy was the league pick as the fastest player, at least in terms of game speed, on the base paths. And every single ground ball he hits, and he does hit a lot of them, turns into a fire drill because your defense has to respond very quickly.
1-0, Nishida goes with the bunt again, and he went around for strike 1. The count is even. That's funny because in elementary school, I was told to calmly walk out of school on fire drills. Is that even something different in Tennessee?
I would guess that you probably acted similar to what these fielders have to do when he hits a scorcher to short or third or wherever else.
Well, I had to wear headphones.
In a panic.
I had to wear headphones because the fire drill was so loud on me. 1-1. Swinging a pop-up. Left side fouling out of play. It's now 1-2 on Nishida. And this is where it gets really interesting with Riku Nishida. We're going to go through the entire story when he steps back into the left-handed batter's box here. A couple of practice swings. Runners at the corners. Doors up 1 with 1 gone in the bottom of the 6th. Nishida crouching, crowding that left-handed batter's box. The bat low, now put up with the choke high. He swings at the 1-2, and it goes foul, so we'll do it again. But Nishida kind of looks like Colby Halter with that bat. He's choked up so high. It's a great 2-strike approach, and it's really worked well for him this season.
Nishida does so many things in the batter's box that it's almost difficult to describe him. He chokes up a lot, and his feet are all over the place when he steps to swing. It almost looks like he's playing softball or wiffle ball or something because his...
I do look like that in wiffle ball.
He takes swings that you don't see from anybody else. He's just trying to get a piece of the ball, trying to put it in play, but he doesn't mind fouling him off. He does some pretty interesting stuff in the box.
Now at the top of the batter's box, the 1-2, he goes down swinging. That's a big strikeout from Nolan Moore. Nishida can do all the circus stuff that he wants to in the box, but Moore tells him to sit down. 2 gone, bottom 6, runners at the corners. Falmouth leading Hyannis 5-4.
But what I want to make abundantly clear on the broadcast, because I think this has been lost on some people this summer, is that Nishida is not trying to show anybody up.
No, he's not.
He's just got a routine. He's got some things he does to get himself right mentally in the batter's box. And he's a very entertaining player. He's one of our favorites to see whenever we play these Hawks.
It's frustrating sometimes, too, because he's worked his way up in the count with doing that approach. As Mitch Jebb's up to the plate, he pops it up to the left side on the first pitch. Mooney hustling to his right and making the grab head high to help Nolan Moore get out of a jam. Moore strands 2 and keeps us at a score of 5-4 going into the top of the 7th inning. Halter, Borpin, and Pinckney due up for the 2nd straight top half when we come back. You're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Commodores Radio Network.
Well, welcome back to McKeon Park as we head on to the top of the 7th inning between the Falmouth Commodores and Hyannis Harbor Hawks. It's been a hummer of a game today. The Doors lead the Hawks 5-4 right now on the strength of a 4-run top of the 6th inning in which 9 batters came to the plate, including Colby Halter, who led things off with a solo home run and now takes his cracks for the second time in as many innings, leading things off here in the top of the 7th with Borfin on deck, Pinckney in the hole. 2, 3, and 4 for Falmouth due up. Chase Santala's first pitch to swing at a line drive to left center field. That gets down in between McConnell and Flores. Halter motoring his way for second. The throw back in, not in time. Well, the throw from the outfield taken by Nishida at second base, who had to reach back for a tag but could not quite slap it on the back of Halter in time. So a leadoff double for the Doors here in the top of the 7th inning, and Colby Halter doing it again. He has himself a 3-for-4 day.
Yeah, this guy's crushing it. You know, the first at-bat was a pop fly. He kind of got away with that double, but he had the home run, and he's 3-for-4 like you said.
First pitch to Borfin is a swing and a high drive to left center field. McConnell headed back, and it is up against the wall in the gap. Halter headed on home. Borfin into second with an RBI double. It's 6-4 Falmouth here in the top of the 7th inning.
Well, I didn't think we were going to play all 9 today because we saw storms left and right on the forecast. Our web writer, Tommy Mumau, was joking, say he was going to bet his whole tuition that we were going to play all 9 today. And I'm glad he's right because the Doors are hot right now. 5 runs of its 6 for Falmouth as being put up in these 2 top halves. This one going on right now in the 7th. And you have Andrew Pinckney coming up, too. This thing may not end for a little bit, Carter.
Borfin at second base. Nobody out here in the top of the 7th inning. Santala's first pitch to Pinckney's down low and away. 1-0 to the right-handed batting center fielder. Pinckney today 1 for 3. Had an infield single his last time up. Advanced to second on an error. And later came around to score in that 4-run inning. So the Doors getting it done on offense around the midway point of the game again. 1-0 to Pinckney's a swing and a tapper foul back of the plate. It's 1-1. As you hear the wind roar through here at McKeon Park again. It's been a windy day here, but the weather that we were so warned about before this game has, to this point, knock on wood, held off.
Hope you guys heard that at home.
1-1 on Pinckney. The pitch, swinging a foul ball again. Caught a piece of Corona behind the plate, and it's 1-2.
And Pinckney's a little upset with himself on that one because the previous pitch was a slider, and Pinckney was expecting fastball. He was a little early on it, nubbed it off the top of the bat. This time he loaded up a little bit earlier and a fastball came. A lot of it's a game of guesses, but when you guess wrong like that and what Pinckney just did, you get frustrated at yourself, and you should be because it's an opportunity to put your team ahead even more, and it hurts. But you know what? In baseball, there are more pitches. You just got to keep on fighting in the box, and Pinckney's doing that right now, choked up on the bat in the right-handed batter's box.
Pinckney with a 1-2 count facing off against right-hander Chase Santala, who's on for his second inning of relief for the Hawks. 1-2 delivery to Pinckney. Breaking ball, fouled again off the plate. As you said, he's battling this right-hander. We saw first base umpire Jeffrey Merzel make Santala toss away a baseball, made him throw a different one for whatever reason. But nonetheless, still dealing with Pinckney with Borfin at second base. Back-to-back doubles for the Doors have opened up this top of the 7th inning. 1-2. Swinging a softly hit ground ball to shortstop. Jebb backhands it. Throw across is in time and on target for out number 1 here in the top of the 7th inning. Finally done by Jebb, who looked back Borfin from second and then delivered a strike across the diamond to first base. 1 away. And here comes Peyton Stovall to the plate.
Last time up, he's the reason why he put the Doors in the reason why that they're here. He had a 2-run RBI single to tie things up in the 6th. A couple batters after that, Corey Collins put the Doors in front. Let's find out what Peyton can do here. Maybe trade places with his Razorback teammate, Borfin at second.
One out, Borfin at second here in the 7th. First pitch to Stovall, breaking ball and a good one on the outer half. Strike 1 on the Falmouth second baseman, hitting 5th today. Stovall is 1 for 3. Singled his last time up in the 6th and drove in a pair to tie the game. At that point, 4-4. That made the score. 0-1 pitch, rather, as Santala wheels around to face Borfin at second. Jace has a stolen base today. Stole second back in the 6th inning, but probably not a good bet to go from second with only one away here in the 7th. 0-1 to Stovall's outside, and it's 1-1. Well, the Doors getting it done on offense today late in games. In their last contest before the All-Star break, Falmouth played at Doran Park against the Bourne Braves, scored 10 runs in that game, and only started working on that in the 5th inning. 4 in the 5th, 1 in the 6th, 7th, and 8th, and then a trio in the 9th inning. 1-1 on Stovall, the pitch. Inside, Stovall had to hop a step back out of the way. It's 2-1.
You know, it's funny. I forgot who was up at the plate in the CCBL All-Star game. I saw a hitter do that for Harwich, and strike 3 was called on him in the ASG. I could not believe it watching the replay on Nesson last night. I flipped out at Shipwrecked at dinner with my family.
A lot of nasty pitchers in that game, too.
Yeah.
Low-scoring affair. Only 4-1 was the final from Spillane. 2-1 to Stovall. Catches the top of the zone for strike 2 on the outer half. Stovall not pleased with that call, but doing a good job of hiding it. Taking a few steps out of the box and adjusting his gloves.
That's something Stovall does. He doesn't talk as much. He'll give you a face, but that's as far as he's going to go. Payton's a really good dude.
2-2 the count, the pitch. Further inside this time as Stovall flinched as it went by at knee level. 3-2 the count. A good AB here from the Falmouth infielder from Houghton, Louisiana. He's an Arkansas Razorback in the springtime, trying to drive his Fayetteville teammate in. From second base, Jace Borfin stands there with 1 out here in the top of the 7th inning. In a 6-4 game, the Doors lead here at McKeon Park. Swinging a pop-up by Stovall, left side. Earhart chasing it out to left field, and it plunks in for a base hit. Well, not the prettiest base knock you'll ever see from Stovall, but it gets the job done. Borfin can't move from second base, but there are runners at first and second with only 1 away here in the top of the 7th for Jacob Walsh.
Yeah, that's the second time we've seen Earhart have some difficulties in filling a pop-up like that. He did that in foul territory a few innings back. I believe it was in the 3rd, but Earhart was a little frustrated with himself. If I'm Borfin, I'm taking more of a gamble to go for third base knowing Earhart did that.
That double by Colby Halter in the 1st inning was a play down the line, too. As the double steal goes, Borfin to third, Stovall to second. The throw goes there, and it's not in time. Well, just as you say it, Trey, the Doors get aggressive on the base paths. Catching the Hyannis defense napping. Second stolen base of the day for Borfin. First of the day for Stovall. Now there's runners at second and third with only 1 away here in the 7th inning.
Woo Pig Suey on the base pass, partner.
Walsh still at the plate. 1-0 the count on him with 1 away. The infield now in for Hyannis. 1-0, swinging a ground ball down the first baseline into right field, base hit. Borfin scores. Stovall running in behind him. It's a 2 RBI single for Jacob Walsh here in the top of the 7th inning, and the train just keeps on moving for the Commodores, who now lead it 8-4 at McKeon Park.
Choo-choo, choo-choo, you hear it? That's the train that's coming through for the Falmouth Commodores. Man, that is now 7 runs put up in these 2 top halves, a 4 spot in the 6th, a 3 spot in the 7th, and it continues with Drew Brutcher, who last time up had a clean piece of contact. It's just sucks about it is that Cole McConnell was there in center field.
First pitch to Drew Brutcher is fouled off the plate. 0-1 the count. With Walsh now at first base, Corey Collins on deck, and Drew Brutcher, the number 7 hitter at the plate. The 6th man to bat in this inning for Falmouth. The Doors already have 3 in this inning after 4 runs scored in the 6th, with only 1 away still. Brutcher lefty bat against the righty Santala. Looking in, the 0-1 pitch is on the outer half, strike 2. 0-2 the count as the sky darkens here at McKeon Park. But the Doors with a relentless offense. Took them a while to wake up after a dominant start by Jay Driver for Hyannis. But against a pair of Hawks relievers, the Doors have teed off. 0-2 to Brutcher. Breaking ball stays away. It's 1-2. So Borfin doubling his stolen base total on the season today. Began with 2, now has 4. after a pair so far in this game. Peyton Stovall on the double steal with his first swipe this summer. Put two guys in scoring position, and Walsh did not miss. 1-2 to Brutcher inside. Pick throw threatened back to first base by Corona, and Walsh is back there. 2-2 the count now on Brutcher, who steps out of the left-handed batter's box to re-grip the bat and take a practice swing towards the mound. One away, top of the 7th inning. Walsh at first base in an 8-4 game. The Doors have ripped this one back open in their favor. 2-2 pitch to Brutcher. Up high, another threatened by Corona to throw to first, but he doesn't do it. 3-2 the count. Walsh not a running threat over there at first base. Big first baseman standing at 6'4", 220 pounds. Does not have a steal attempt this summer. Brutcher at the plate's been swinging a hot bat. 3-2 delivery. Swinging a ground ball foul right side, and the count stays full. With only one away here in the top of the 7th inning. The Doors, who fell behind in this game 4-1 after a 4-run Hyannis half of the 4th inning, have now roared back in front by 4 runs of their own. Brutcher in his crouch stance, left-handed box, 3-2. Swinging a foul left side again. And Drew staying alive here with Walsh at first base and still only one out. Coming into the night, Brutcher over his last 5 games, 8 for his last 19 with a run driven in, a 421 mark. In his last 5 contests, today so far 0 for 2 with a walk. Santala kicks in the 3-2. Too far inside, ball 4. And the Doors keep on rolling. A walk to Brutcher moves Walsh to second base with 1 out here in the top of the 7th inning, and this might be it for the right-hander Chase Santala. Meeting on the mound between the entire Hyannis infield. And Eric Beatty heading his way to the mound. He takes the ball from his right-hander with a score 8-4 here in the top of the 7th inning. So things have kind of fallen apart here for the Hawks since they had to go to their bullpen. We'll see who the new arm is. 4th pitcher of the day used for Hyannis when we return. You're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Falmouth Commodores Radio Network. We're back at McKeon Park, still in the top of the 7th inning between the Falmouth Commodores and Hyannis Harbor Hawks. The Doors trying to keep hold of their 4th place spot in the Western Division, and the Hawks trying to stave off Katuitt and stay in first place. But right now the Doors are up 8-4, courtesy of a big 4-run 6th inning and 3 runs so far in the 7th, but still only 1 away. And a new pitcher on the mound for Hyannis, left-hander Ryan Steinhauer. to deal with Corey Collins. Runners at first and second with one away. First pitch to Collins. Drifts in for a strike, 0-1.
So Steinhauer this season, coming out of Dayton, where he had a 4.39 ERA, 3-4 record, starting in all 11 games. So he's making a relief appearance for the Harbor Hawks right now. Steinhauer had 53 in the third innings pitch, giving up 26 earned runs, striking out 63.
0-1 delivery to Collins. Breaking ball up and in, and it's 1-1. So Jacob Walsh at second base. Drew Brutcher at first base. After a pair of Hyannis relievers could not put out their fires, respectively, in the 6th and 7th innings. Austin Amaral and Chase Santala could not get the job done. Now Steinhauer's in the game. Lefty-lefty as Collins takes strike 2, 1-2. So to recap this inning, Colby Halter started with a double. Jay Sporfin drove him in with another double. Andrew Pinckney grounded out to short. Peyton Stovall singled on a little blooper into left over the head of Earhart at third base to put runners at first and second, then a double steal. Jacob Walsh singled them both in down the right field line. Drew Brutcher walked, and that's where we stand now. As Collins takes a step out of the box, takes a little half swing and taps the plate with the bat. Now raises it above the rear shoulder. Steinhauer puts the ball in glove, takes a breath, looks back Walsh at second a few times. Now kicks and fires the 1-2. Swinging a high drive to right field. Sirota headed back to the wall to make the catch. Tagging from second, Walsh headed for third. He gets there without a throw. So a deep drive off the bat of Collins. Gave it a pretty good ride to right field. But Sirota gloved it well in front of the wall for the second out here in the top of the 7th inning.
Well, Collins hits for power, and he shows it right there. You know, he dropped that back shoulder a little bit to try and get some power off the baseball. The wind blew it for Sirota to move back a little bit towards that right field fence. Either way, he makes the grab, and it now brings up Danny Neary.
2 away. Runners at first and third here at the top of the 7th. 8-4 is your score. The Doors lead over the Hawks. And Danny Neary, the number 9 hitter, catching today for Falmouth, is your batter. Jorge Corona hustles out to the mound to talk things over with Ryan Steinhauer, his left-hander. Steinhauer at 6'3", 193 from Ypsilanti, Michigan. Like you said, Trey does his pitching for the Dayton Flyers collegiately. 11 games, all starts this spring, so out of the bullpen, a new experience for him. Neary 0 for 3 today, 2 strikeouts and a fielder's choice. Steinhauer looking in, now kicks and delivers. Up high, shoulder height, 1-0. Neary on this young season, at least for him, a recent addition to this roster, now 1 for 14 at the plate. As the wind swirls around here at McKeon Park, it has played tricks on the baseball today when it's been flied into the outfield as a throw goes over and Brutcher is back. So the Doors, who fell behind the Hawks again by a score of 4-1, have clawed their way back into this game in a big way. 4 in the 6th, 3 in the 7th so far. Neary at the plate with Alex Mooney on deck. Steinhauer's delivery is fouled off. Make the count 1-1. High pop foul over those bleacher seats, corralled by a couple kids. And it's 1-1 on Neary. So Neary, who came to this roster about a week ago from McKinney, Florida, does his catching at Notre Dame, where he started 17 games this spring for the Fighting Irish and hit .266. Picking up catching duties today as Steinhauer takes a breath and deals. Swing and a miss. The count 1-2 on Neary. Looks like Steinhauer quick pitched him there.
Yeah.
Came with a little more quickness in that delivery and caught Neary off guard.
And that's something I'm not surprised with by Steinhauer, because he's been showing a lot of emotion on the mound, and just 2/3 of an inning in relief for Steinhauer so far.
Brutcher at first, Walsh at third, 2 down. Steinhauer deals, swinging a chopper right side, fielded by Shanuel, who lopes over to the bag in time for out number 3. Well, that ends the top of the 7th inning, but not before the Doors get 3 runs on 4 hits, no errors, and Falmouth leaves a pair as we head on to the bottom of the 7th. in an 8-4 game. The Doors lead it here at McKeon Park. You're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Falmouth Commodores Radio Network. We're moving right along to the bottom of the 7th inning with the Doors leading 8-4 over the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. And Falmouth has really turned this game on its head over the last 2 innings. 7 combined runs the last 2 times the Doors have been up to bat. So Hyannis now trying to answer in front of its home crowd. They bring Mike Sirota, Cole McConnell, and Nolan Shanuel, 2, 3, and 4 in its lineup, up to try and respond against Nolan Moore, who turns and delivers. First pitch outside to the right-handed hitting Sirota, 1-0. This is Moore's 4th inning of relief now, working quickly, the 1-0. Fastball off the plate, 2-0. Moore came in to get the last 2 outs of the 4th inning, pitched a 1-2-3 5th, and then got through the 6th, stranding runners at 1st and 3rd with only 1 away. 2-0 pitch to Sirota. Down low, the count 3-0. So Nolan Moore, who started this summer on the Falmouth roster, does his collegiate pitching at Lafayette. 3-0 to Sirota is high and away, ball 4. So Moore on the mound dishes out a leadoff walk to Sirota, his 3rd time on base today, to bring up Cole McConnell with a man at first and nobody down here in the bottom of the 7th.
And that's the 2nd straight bottom half where Nolan Moore has led off an inning with a walk. 4 pitches, that is, too. Really important for Moore to find his command here with the Hyannis heart of the order coming up right here.
First pitch to McConnell is fouled right back to us off the bricks right in front of us. And the count 0-1 on the Hyannis center fielder and number 3 hitter today. McConnell's 1 for 3, singled back in the 1st, struck out in the 3rd, flew out in the 5th. Lefty-lefty matchup between Moore and the left-handed hitting McConnell. Sirota over at first base as they throw a rogue ball out of play, first base side. McConnell now gets back in the box, tapping the plate, raising that bat above the rear shoulder. Moore's delivery is a swing and a rocket line drive fair down the right field line into the corner. Brutcher goes to pick it up as Sirota heads for 3rd. He's waved in as the throw goes into 2nd. Mooney fields it, but no throw made. It's an RBI double for Cole McConnell, driving in Mike Sirota all the way from first base. And it's 8-5 now. Falmouth still leads here in the bottom of the 7th inning.
The first baseman from Florida Atlantic, number 12, Nolan Shanuel.
And if you're a Commodore fan, and you know what happened on Friday against this same Hyannis team, you're biting some fingernails because we're in the 7th inning. Last time we were in the 7th against these 2 teams, Hyannis put up 4 of its own, propelling itself to a win. Got to be in control here.
First pitch to Shanuel is fouled back, and it's 0-1 on the Hyannis first baseman. 0 for 2 today with a walk, and another left-handed batter against Moore, who is pitching like he just did in the Futures League when he started 4 games for the New Britain Bees. This is a lengthy relief outing for this left-hander. 0-1 to Shanuel's down low in the dirt, 1-1. The The Doors have a lot of arms still left in this bullpen. Garrett Coe from the left side, and then a slew of right-handers. Josh Stewart, Joey Ryan, Caleb Corbett, Luke Malone, Braden Matthews, and A.J. Causey, a newcomer. 1-1 to Sean Ewell. Swinging a tapper back of the plate, foul, rolling to the bricks, and it's 1-2. So Cole McConnell with his first RBI today on that double. He now stands at second base, increasing his team lead in that category to 19 runs driven in. And it's just par for the course for that Louisiana Tech Bulldog after what he did this spring with LA Tech. Sean Ewell at the plate with McConnell at second base. Nobody out here, bottom of the seventh. More deals. Swing and a miss. Sean Ewell down on strikes. A big first out here for Moore in the seventh inning. And that brings up Jorge Corona with McConnell still at second base.
And if you're Moore, he's got to keep it going. You know, this is another guy that's now 0 for 3, just like Sean Ewell after that last at-bat. Moore's just got to keep the good times rolling here, paint different parts of the zone, unless Mike Landry says his night is done, and it is.
After striking out Sean Ewell, a left-handed batter, and with Jorge Corona up, a right-handed hitter, the day looks like it could certainly be done for Moore, who gave the Doors some great work out of this bullpen. Came in a messy fourth and got out of it, as we see Caleb Corbett now jogging in for the Falmouth bullpen. So a pitching change here in Hyannis, and we'll get back to you once Corbett's all warmed up in this game as Nolan Moore leaves, heading back to the first base dugout. The Doors lead it here 8-5 in the bottom of the seventh at McKeon Park, but we'll be right back. You're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Falmouth Commodores radio network. Well, we're still here in the bottom of the seventh inning at McKeon Park as the Falmouth Commodores lead the Hyannis Harbor Hawks by a score of 8-5. But the Hawks still batting in the bottom of this seventh. A walk, a double, and a strikeout ended the day for Nolan Moore, left-handed reliever out of the pen for Falmouth, who went 3 innings in this game, gave up 2 hits, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. 1 run to Moore's credit so far, off the McConnell double in this inning. Jorge Corona now at the plate against Caleb Corbett, the new pitcher into the game for Falmouth, right-hander from Louisville. First pitch to Corona is fouled back, and it's 0-1. Corbett, this is his 9th appearance of the summer. Carries in a 16.20 ERA in 8 1/3 innings, 11 strikeouts, 20 hits, and 6 walks. So it hasn't been the control that's been the problem for Corbett. He's just been hit around by opposing batters a little bit too hard. That pitch to Corona, swinging a ground ball to second base. Tricky hop for Stovall as it came up right near his head, but the throw on to first in time for out number 2. And McConnell makes his way to third base.
Stovall was ready to field that on the ground, but the lip here in McKeon Park is very similar to Gov Fuller Field. One that if you get a hop enough that's somewhat enough for this grass to make it bounce, it will bounce extremely high. Stovall almost got doinked in the face by that because of the way it bounced up on the lip. Quick reaction from Stovall, and it works out in Falmouth's favor.
First pitch to Drew Earhart's a called strike. Third baseman hitting sixth today, 0 for 1 with 2 walks. Had a little bit of a note about Cole McConnell earlier in this inning, and his advance to third just reminded me that this guy is an RBI machine. As the 0-1 to Earhart's in for a strike 0-2. And just so we don't miss our chance, McConnell did this all spring at LA Tech. He broke the single season RBI record for the Bulldogs that had stood since 1988. McConnell finished with 76. 0-2 pitch is a swing and a fly ball to left center field. Pinckney from center to his right makes the catch in the gap. And that's the third out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. So how about the job by Caleb Corbett coming out of the pen to register 2 quick outs and end a Hyannis threat. 1 run on 1 hit, and the Hawks leave a man. No errors. We head on to the top of the 8th inning. Mooney, Halter, and Borfin, 1, 2, and 3 for Falmouth, coming back up to the plate. When we return, you're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Falmouth Commodores radio network. We're on to the 8th inning here at McKeon Park between the Falmouth Commodores and Hyannis Harbor Hawks. These two Western Division rivals getting it on for the final time in the regular season. The Doors trying to get their 2nd win of the regular season series against the Hawks. Right now, the Doors lead it 8-5 on the strength of 2 pretty big innings, 4 in the 6th, 3 runs in the 7th for Falmouth. And now the Commodores bring their top of the order back around. Mooney, Halter, and Borfin, 1, 2, 3 in the lineup, as Mooney stands in against left-hander Ryan Steinhauer, who's on for inning number 2. First pitch to Mooney is swung at and fouled right side, 0-1 the count. So Alex Mooney, 0 for 4 today, but hit, 323-foot fly ball to left field his last time up, caught by left fielder Tito Flores with his back up against the wall that ended the 6th inning. 0-1 pitch to Mooney. Swing and a miss again at a change of speeds, outside and low, 0-2. The defense for Hyannis. Earhart guarding the line at third base, and Nishida playing Mooney to hit the ball up the middle. A lot of space over there on the right side. 0-2. Check swing by Mooney at a pitch up high. They appeal to first base, and Jeff Merzel says Mooney didn't go. 1-2 the count now on the Falmouth shortstop. Colby Halter on deck, 3 for 4 today with a home run and 2 doubles. And then Jace Borfin in the hole, 1 for 3 with a walk. Steinhauer kicks and fires the 1-2. Swinging a pop-up right side. Shanuel from first base going out. Sirota from right coming in, and it's Sirota to make the catch, jogging in towards the infield dirt for out number 1 here in the top of the 8th inning.
Rough night for Alex. That's frustrating. Moving to 0 for 5 on the night, and the best thing you can do as a hitter, especially Mooney doesn't come up later in this game, just put it behind you. You got to have a short memory as a baseball player, especially with a line like Mooney's tonight. 0 for 5. It's not the prettiest. We get that, but there's always tomorrow. The Doors are back at home against the Mariners tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. So Mooney has that to his advantage.
Here's Colby Halter now at the plate. Steinhauer's first pitch is inside for ball 1 on the Falmouth third baseman, who has had himself a day. Solo home run back in the 6th gave Halter a share of the league lead, along with Katuitt's Tyler Johnson, who was 0 for 3 today. The 1-0 pitch comes in low to Halter. It's 2-0. So Colby, who stands at 6'2", 297 pounds, doesn't look like your big, hulking, prototypical power guy. He's got a lot of pop in that bat. Quick wrists and a lot of good contact skills. He usually barrels it up, and it's paid dividends this summer. 2-0 the count. Steinhauer's delivery. Inside again to the left-handed hitting Halter. Lefty-lefty matchup, and it's 3-0.
It's probably the best thing they could do with Halter right now. Walk him. He's done so much. Couple doubles, dinger. You walk him, so what? But then he is also a problem with the base pass, too. So, yikes if you're Hyannis.
3-0 pitch. In for a strike, 3-1. Now, Riku Nishida at second base for Hyannis, playing Halter to pull ever so slightly. Inched over towards the hole between first and second, so Halter's got a lot of room up the middle. Taking a couple half swings, choked up on that bat with his hands a couple inches up off the knob. 3-1. Up high and in as Halter tosses the bat towards the Falmouth dugout. A one-out walk, and Colby has been on base 4 of his 5 trips to the plate today. Jace Borfin's now the hitter, with Halter at first base and 1 down here in the top of the 8th inning.
And Borfin's had a good bat in his last 2 PAs. He walked on a 3-2 count in the 6th, a double in the 7th. Both of those, he ended up being runs scored. 2 of the 8 runs scored today by the Commodores have come with Borfin touching home.
Well, Borfin struck out his first 2 times up, then a walk and a double his last 2 trips. First pitch by Steinhauer is outside and low. To the left-handed hitting Borfin, it's 1-0. Halter over at first base has 10 steals this summer in 16 tries. Borfin to the plate with his arms raised, waiting for the 1-0 from Steinhauer, who turns and fires. Swinging a rocket ground ball foul right side, 1-1. Similar ball hit off the bat of Jacob Walsh in the last inning. He hit a ground ball down the right field line, played it a pair to increase the Falmouth lead to 8-4. Hyannis then got a run back in the bottom of the 7th, but it's now 8-5. The Doors lead here at McKeon Park, with Halter at first base and 1 out. Steinhauer's 1-1. Breaking ball just missed off the plate, says home plate umpire Jeff Kinney, and it's 2-1. Well, now you've got an ideal running count over there for Halter at first base, who is yet to make a move. Sean Ewell doing his best to hold him on. Hyannis first baseman with his foot on the bag. Two-one delivery to Borfin. There goes Halter. The pitch taken inside by Borfin. The throw to second, not in time. Colby Halter with his 11th steal, and that just about puts the cherry on top of a Sunday of an evening for the Falmouth third baseman. 3 hits and 4 at-bats, a walk and a stolen base, and he now stands at second with Borfin at the plate. 3-1 the count now on Jace, as that pitch was inside. Corona's throw didn't have quite enough on it to get Halter there at second base, as Steinhauer looks him back. 3-1 delivery. Swinging a high drive to right field, down the line. Sirota giving chase, and that one is gone! Jace Borfin teeing off on a 3-1 pitch to give the Doors a 10 spot here at McKeon Park. It looked good off the bat and sailed over the right field wall to plate 2 more here in the top of the 8th inning.
What a rip. The wind helped with that too, but a blast from Jace Borfin down the right field line. It's deep down there. 358 going down to that right field foul pole. 358 feet, that is. But Borfin set it midway up in the trees. No chance for Mike Sirota to make a play over there in right field. Something that Tito Flores did in left with the Alex Mooney robbery that came in the 6th.
Base is clear now, 1 away, top of the 8th for Andrew Pinckney. Steinhauer deals to him, down low, 1-0. Borfin really pieced that one off the bat, way out to right field, down the line. Sirota went all the way to the wall and gave it a leap, but perhaps half-heartedly, knowing that that one was well gone into the trees. 1-0 pitch now to Pinckney. Swing and a miss, and a changeup off the outside corner to the right-handed batter. It's 1-1. So Steinhauer, the latest Hyannis pitcher to get touched up for runs in this game after a fantastic start by Jay Driver. Remember him? 5 innings, 11 strikeouts in this game, but ever since the Doors got into this Hawks bullpen, things have changed as the 1-1 skips in front of the plate. 2-1 to Pinckney, who's 1 for 4 today with a single and a run scored back in the 6th inning.
And it just tells you, you got to keep attacking if you're a hitter. Remember that streak that Driver went on where he had 6 straight strikeouts? All of them were swinging. You got to keep going after pitchers left and right, whoever they bring up. And the Commodores have shown that late in this game.
Steinhauer's 2-1 to Pinckney is a swing and a ground ball up the middle. Nishida behind the bag from second base to his right. Look at him stay with it. Fantastic play from the Hyannis second baseman. Fresh off an appearance in the All-Star game, ranging to his right behind the second base bag to rob Pinckney of a base hit to center field. 2 away here in the top of the 8th inning now for Peyton Stovall.
And in that All-Star game, he was playing some center field, Riku Nishida. We were making a joke with him saying, you got to seam the glove a little bit more because he almost dropped the fly ball in center field at Spillane Field this Saturday.
Stovall now at the plate. Lefty-lefty matchup. First pitch to him is down low. 1-0 the count. So Nishida has not had a huge impact on this game. Hitting in the number 9 spot. He's a little bit of a tornado at the plate. Can usually turn things around with a bunt here, a slap there. So far today, 0 for 2 with a walk. 1-0 to Stovall is outside. 2-0 the count in a 10-5 game here at McKeon Park. The Doors have done all their damage virtually since the 5th inning. Falmouth got 1 back in the 2nd, an RBI double by Corey Collins. But that was off of Jay Driver, the Hyannis starter who dealt for 5 innings. 2-0 to Stovall, floats in for a strike, a breaking ball, and it's 2-1. But since Driver left the game, the Doors scored 4 in the 6th, 3 in the 7th, and now 2 in the 8th inning, courtesy of a 2-run home run to right from Jace Borfin, who now has 2 long balls on the summer. 2-1 is a swing and a weakly hit ground ball to second base. Nishida to his left, underhand flip to first base, and that ends the top of the 8th inning. The Doors get 2 more on 1 very big hit. The 2-run shot by Borfin, no errors, and no men left. We head on to the bottom of the 8th inning in a 10-5 game. Falmouth leads. Ruiz, Flores, and Nishida, 7, 8, and 9 for Hyannis coming to the plate when we return. You're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Falmouth Commodores Radio Network.
Welcome back to McKeon Park, where the Commodores have a commanding lead over the Harbor Hawks going into the bottom of the 8th by a score of 10-5. Let's take a trip around Cape Cod to see what else is going on in the CCPL. Earlier today, the Cavaliers smoked the Red Sox by a score of 12-4, which means if Katuitt wins and Hyannis loses, there's a 1-point separation between first and second in the West. Chatham is in front of Orleans at Eldridge Park by a score of 2-1 in the bottom of the 8th inning. With an Orleans loss and a Chatham win, those two going against one another right now, the Anglers will jump the Firebirds in the Eastern Division standings. Harwich leading Brewster by a score of 9-2, and over at Polar Park in Worcester, 3-1 is your score. The Braves over the Gatemen. Carter, take us through this final inning and a half, my friend.
Well, thank you, Trey. A couple results around the league to keep your eye on. The Katuitt one in particular. course, the Western Division scores more of interest to the Doors at this point in their season. Caleb Corbett on the mound dealing with Pancho Ruiz, the DH for Hyannis, hitting 7th. First pitch to him is a swing and a foul back of the plate to the right side, 0-1.
And with a guy like Corbett, you know, we've talked a lot about how he's been getting hit a lot. Corbett's a guy that, you know, he's got to be painting. If he's finding the corners, you know, finding a spot that hitters don't like, then he's showing off his good stuff.
0-1 to Ruiz. And it's 1-1.
There have been times where he's gotten rocked. There have been times where he's popped off. I mean, July 2nd, he went an inning and a third against Bourne. Shutout ball. He has the capability.
Swing and a miss there by Ruiz on a good breaking ball down and away. So I guess that's what you mean.
Yeah.
With nobody out here in the bottom of the 8th inning, Ruiz, Flores, and Nishida due up for the Hawks in this inning. 10-5 is your score right now. Falmouth leads Hyannis. 1-2 from Corbett. Breaking ball up high and away, and it's 2-2 on the right-handed hitting Ruiz. Ruiz today, 0 for 2 with a walk. He was a part of that big bottom of the 4th inning when the Hawks played at 4. 2-2 from Corbett sails low, and it's 3-2. Ruiz entering the night is a 191 hitter. 0 for 2 so far, as I said today. Payoff pitch from Corbett. Swinging a sharply hit ground ball to short. Mooney to his right, sliding and throwing in time for out number 1 here in the bottom of the 8th. And Alex Mooney doing it with some flair. Ruiz retired on a Gold Glove caliber play from the Falmouth shortstop.
And that's the glove of Alex Mooney that we know. The one that he showed off in his freshman season at Duke. The one that propelled him to a spot on the ACC all-freshman team. Defensively, it's been a struggle for Alex, but no one talks about how great of a glove he can show sometimes. He makes the leaps. He makes the dives. His jersey's dirty almost every game defensively.
Tito Flores now at the plate, looks at a breaking ball for strike 1. Boy, Corbett really snapped that one in there. The count 0-1 with 1 away here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Falmouth up 10-5 over the division rival Harbor Hawks here at McKeon Park. Corbett turns and fires the 0-1. Swinging a foul off the mask of Neareye, back of the plate. And it's 0-2 now on Flores, who is 1 for 2 today, but has reached base every time up. Walk, single, and an error on Colby Halter back in the 6th inning. And E5 gave Flores first base.
Respect to Jeff Kinney for giving Danny Neareye time. That's something I've learned a lot in doing summer baseball. You know, there's baseball etiquette like there is golf etiquette. Part of baseball etiquette is the home plate umpire giving the catcher time after a foul ball goes off the face mask.
0-2 on Flores. The pitch down low. Breaking ball just in front of the plate off the dirt, and it's 1-2 on Flores. Well, the home plate umpire and the catcher, they know how it feels to take some balls off the mask. I mean,
it's not fun.
If you're unlucky as an umpire, you can get one straight from the arm, no glove. And as a catcher, you're taking balls off your legs and your arms and your mask all game long. 1-2 pitch to Flores. Breaking ball even shorter this time, and it's 2-2. So Nishida on deck. Flores at the plate with 1 out here at McKeon Park. As we've seen, the crowd has thinned. The Doors have a 5-run lead with only 5 outs to go. 2-2 pitch from Corbett. Swinging a ground ball foul right side. Flores putting up a fight. Drilling one over to the Falmouth dugout wall. And the count stays 2-2. To this point, the Doors have 10 runs on 11 hits and 3 errors. The Hawks have 5 runs on 4 hits and 1 error. 2-2 pitch to Flores from Corbett. Breaking ball just off the plate, perhaps a little high, and it's 3-2.
And if I'm Corbett here, I'm giving Flores something to hit. You know, you don't want to walk guys, and Corbett hasn't really done that this season, so he knows his capabilities. If I'm Corbett, I'm going with the heater at some part of the zone.
3-2 to Flores. Fastball down in the dirt, and Flores draws a walk. The Hyannis left fielder on base for the 4th time today, and that brings up Riku Nishida with a runner at first base and 1 away here in the bottom of the 8th inning. So for Flores, who has been a model of consistency over at Michigan since he started there in 2020, all Big Ten Conference second team last year, and a Midwest region second team player this year with the Wolverines, has been just that against the Doors this summer, a consistent player. First pitch to Nishida, fastball on the outer half, had some extra juice from Corbett, and it's 0-1 on Nishida. 0-1 the count on the Hyannis second baseman. All-star this summer for Nishida. 0-1 pitch is way high, and it's 1-1. Nishida now steps out of the left-handed box and takes a practice swing. Now turns around and takes a righty swing, which we've seen him do a couple times before. Now he gets back in left-handed, twirling the bat around to the rear shoulder.
Oh, man, he's
now gets into his stance with the bat waving above the head. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. Big cut. 1-2 the count now on Nishida.
And he makes the grimacing face, you know, the emoji where the eyes are really wide and all the teeth are showing. It's the like that. The face of the sounds put together, but
almost gave us a look as if to say, ooh.
Yeah, well, no, he did. He did.
Nishida now gets out of his two-strike crouch. The 1-2 is a swing and a lightly hit ground ball to third base. Halter has to hurry, picks it up, throws over to first in time for out number 2. So Halter not trying for the double play. Instead takes the out at first base. Of course, with Nishida never a sure thing. But that is out number 2 here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
That is such a smart play by Colby Halter. I don't care if you're a lead runner folk out there. If you get Flores out at second base, Nishida's over there at first. In just one pitch, Nishida's going to go over to second on a stolen base. So the fact that you're getting the faster guy out, yeah, you'll play with that. That's totally fine.
Flores now at second base with 2 away. First pitch to Mitch Jebb, now at the top of the Hyannis order. Jebb hanging in the number 1 spot against Caleb Corbett here in the 8th inning. Jebb today 0 for 4 with a run scored back in the 4th. Reached on a fielder's choice and came around the bases on an error and a steal. He swings at the 1-0, and it's back of the plate foul, 1-1. Well, after that play, Colby Halter was kind of shaking his head and speaking a little bit to Peyton Stovall at second base. I think the conversation was about, could you have gone 2? I think Stovall was saying no. He and Mooney kind of shared a couple words going back to their normal positions, but I think all is well. The Falmouth infield. 1-1 on Jebb. Swinging a chopper to second base. Stovall waits for it. Didn't even have to move his feet. Collects and throws on to first for out number 3. So 3 ground ball outs from Caleb Corbett, who works around a 1-out walk. The Hawks don't score in the 8th inning. No hits, no errors, and 1 man left at second base. We head on to the top of the 9th inning. Walsh, Brutcher, and Collins, 6, 7, and 8 for Falmouth, due up when we return. You're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Falmouth Commodores Radio Network. We're on to the final inning here at McKeon Park between the Falmouth Commodores and Hyannis Harbor Hawks. The Doors lead it 10-5 here against the division-leading Hawks after 4 runs scored in the 6th, 3 in the 7th, and 2 in the 8th. Falmouth has just been pouring it on. And now to start the 9th, it's Jacob Walsh, Drew Brutcher, and Corey Collins, barring any pinch hitters. 6, 7, and 8 in the Doors order. Walsh at the plate waiting to get things started against a new Hyannis pitcher into the game. It's right-hander Gabriel Starks, native of Pine Bluff, Arkansas, and a guy who calls the Razorbacks home in the springtime. Starks turns and deals the first pitch to Walsh. Outside, and it's 1-0 to the left-handed hitting Falmouth first baseman. Walsh today is 1 for 3 with a 2 RBI single his last time up in the 7th inning. Also a walk to his credit today. Starks is 1-0. Up high, and it's 2-0.
Yeah, Starks making the 3¼ hour trip to go play college baseball. Not too shabby. Staying in a natural state, too.
2-0 pitch to Walsh. Swing and a miss. Count 2-1. So this is just Starks' second appearance of the summer. His only other time coming into a game was against the Commodores back on July 8th. So over 2 weeks ago now. 2-1 pitch to Walsh. Fastball at the knees, a called strike, and it's 2-2. Walsh looks back, but now turns his head. The count's 2-2 on Jacob. Starks looking in, ready with the 2-2. Now kicks and fires. Low, and it's 3-2. Well, in that game that Starks pitched, he came in the 9th inning and gave up 3 runs in just 2/3 of an inning. It was in the 9th. 3-2 pitch to Walsh. Swinging a foul back of the plate. It's still 3-2. So in that game, the Doors went into the 9th inning trailing 5-1. Starks got the first 2 outs before allowing singles to Cromwick and Andrew Pinkney before Drew Brutcher hit a 3-run home run. And it's Brutcher who now stands in the on-deck circle. Payoff pitch to Walsh again. Swing and a miss. Starks gets Walsh fishing at a pitch down and in. First strikeout of the game for Starks. And here's Drew Brutcher, his Cape League nemesis, if you will. A guy who took him deep at the Gov a little over 2 weeks ago. A 3-run shot that at the time we thought was just a good swing by Brutcher, but it's more indicative of a very good month.
That was the start of it, wasn't it? I mean, Brutcher had that home run, and he's been really good ever since.
First pitch to Brutcher's down low and in to the left-handed batter. Right-hander Starks dealing with him now. The count 1-0.
And that's just case in point to the Commodores, always making every game interesting.
Base is empty, 1 out here in the 9th. 1-0 pitch to Brutcher, called strike, fastball, and a good one by Starks at the knees. It's 1-1. Brutcher taps the plate, now whirls the bat around to the rear shoulder, couple practice swings. Slight knee bend as Starks goes into his wind in the 1-1. Called strike 2, 1-2 the count with 1 out here in the 9th inning. And the base is empty. The Doors are trying to wrap up a season finale win against the Harbor Hawks and try to strengthen their position in the West. 1-2 to Brutcher. Got him low and in. Hit by pitch, looked like right on the foot as Brutcher now jogs to first base. And now a pinch hitter heads into the game as Brutcher makes his way to the first base bag. It's Jackson Nicholas coming in for Corey Collins in the DH spot, hitting 8th. So Nicholas getting his first action today.
Not a bad night for Corey. Couple of RBIs. One was the first run of the game. Well, drove in the first runner of the game. The other was the go-ahead from Corey.
First pitch to Nicholas is outside. Brutcher goes for second, and he's in safely with a stolen base. So Drew Brutcher, not exactly your pick to steal on this Falmouth team. Not a guy who runs a lot, but the Doors still being aggressive here in the 9th inning. Have a runner in scoring position with only 1 away.
Hyannis is always hard to put away, so you always need some insurance. And Falmouth is showing it on the base pass right now, trying to bring Brutcher around.
Starks is 1-0 to Nicholas. Check swing, They appeal, rather they don't. Called strike at the plate by Jeff Kinney.
Yeah, Kinney knew it right from the jump, and Nicholas did too. He tried to hop out of the box quickly just to immediately forget about that pitch.
So the third steal of the summer for Brutcher as Starks fires the 1-1, and it's fouled back 1-2 now on Nicholas. Corey Collins, as you said, not a bad day at all. 2 for 3 with a single, a double, and 2 driven in. Tack on a walk to that as well.
That'll play. Our own Logan Safarenko is going to talk to him for closing the door. It should be an exciting one.
Starks turns and fires the 1-2. Swing and a miss by Nicholas. Down on strikes for the second time this inning are the Doors. Second punch out of the day for Starks. And that brings up Danny Neary with Brutcher at second base and 2 outs.
How about Starks? Maybe able to hear him on our crowd mic grunting while he's throwing. He's trying to do whatever he can to muster in any sort of heat that he can against this Commodore team, one that he's facing twice now.
First pitch to Neary is up high, and it gets away from Corona. On to third goes Brutcher on what looked to be a sure passed ball. So the Doors have a runner at third base now, 2 away in the 9th inning. Already leading 10-5 over the Harbor Hawks. Gabriel Starks, the right-hander on the mound, trying to work through a hit by pitch and a passed ball to avoid giving up any more runs. The Hawks looked like they had this game in hand through 5. Up 4-1. Jay Driver with a magnificent start. 1-0 pitch to Neary, down low and inside. They appeal to third base, and Mike Rabideau says no. Neary didn't go, and the count's 2-0. Some action in the Hyannis bullpen, but we're unlikely to see whoever that is out there. As Starks looks in, now delivers the 2-0. Hear that grunt on the crowd mic, but no dice there for Starks. Down low for the third straight time, 3-0 the count. This park ghostly quiet now. A lot of these fans have left, but we did stay away from the weather, partner. Thought this was going to be a raw day. 3-0 comes in for a strike. It's 3-1.
You know what that means. Have some fun on our off day on Thursday. Got to figure out what we're doing that day, but right now, Doors are rolling.
3-1 to Neary. Check swing, down low. No appeal, and Neary walks. So Starks walks him on 5 pitches to put runners at first and third with 2 down here on the top of the 9th inning. And here's Alex Mooney representing the top of the Falmouth order. Well, the Doors turned it on in the 6th inning, and they have not stopped. Good at bats, good contact, red hot offensively all of a sudden. Starks' first pitch to Mooney, taken outside and low for ball 1, 1-0.
I mean, 4 runs in the 6th, 3 in the 7th, 2 in the 8th. You know how the countdown goes. Maybe the Doors get 1 here in the 9th. Drew Brutcher is 90 feet away.
Runners at first and third, the 1-0 to Mooney. Swinging a pop-up right side, too far for anybody to make a play over towards the Falmouth dugout. The 1-1 now the count on Mooney with 2 down. Drew Brutcher at third base, Danny Neary over at first. A hit batter and a walk in this inning have spelled trouble for Gabriel Starks, the Hyannis right-hander out of Arkansas, who pitched in 12 games this spring for the Razorbacks. 1-1 to Mooney. Swinging a rocket foul. Breaking ball stayed up high, and Mooney was ready for it, but just couldn't straighten it out.
Yeah, and we've seen that a lot from Mooney recently, where he turns on one early. He's just got to sit back a little bit, you know, getting a little too excited about that pitch coming in. How could you not with something high? Everyone loves the high stuff.
So Mooney's now ready for the 1-2 with those hands grasping the bat up near his right ear. 1-2 outside and low. 2-2 the count on the Falmouth shortstop. Well, Mooney, an all-star this weekend at Spillane Field, and perhaps one of the most recognizable players in the Cape League with his long hair and the eye black. Aggressive style of play, the high socks. He looks like a baseball player sent out of Central Casting. High and in. Mooney takes it right off the helmet this time. Flips the bat away towards the dugout, but he'll take first base, the second victim of a hit by pitch from Starks. That one a lot more frightening than the one Brutcher took.
I don't know what it is, but when pitches coming in on Mooney, it's been scary recently. You know, he took one to the, it's just the way he's reacted or the way it's been too. You know, the last time he got hit was in the last game on Friday against the Bourne Braves. He took one to the finger, he shook it off a lot, and he looked in pain. And I asked him after the game, and in a closing the door exclusive, he told me, yeah, I feel fine. I'm shocked it turned out that way, but hoping he feels fine after that one. That one was scary, taking one to the helmet.
Certainly so, but he didn't appear to be hurt at all. Took first base right away. As the first pitch to Colby Halter's in for a strike. 0-1 the count. The bases are now loaded here in the top of the ninth inning, with the Doors leading 10-5 over the Harbor Hawks at McKeon Park. Brutcher at third, Neary at second, Mooney at first. 2 hit batters and a walk in this inning have loaded him up. 0-1 to Halter. Down low and inside to the Falmouth third baseman, who has had himself an outstanding day at the plate. 2 doubles, a solo home run, and a walk. 3 runs scored, and a stolen base for good measure. Left-handed batting Halter against the righty Starks, who comes with the 1-1. Swinging a line drive to left field. That gets down a base hit. Brutcher scores. Neary waved home as the throw comes back in, and it's too late. 2-run score on the single by Halter. And the Doors lead it 12-5 here in the top of the ninth inning.
Man, they're making it look so easy. I think the Cape Cod Baseball League may need to write another article about the Commodore bats coming alive, because they just keep on coming. 4 in the 6th, 3 in the 7th, 2 in the 8th, and 2 in the 9th. You do the math, that's 11 runs scored in 4 innings. They're looking like the Blue Jays against the Red Sox on Friday.
Or the Blue Jays against the Red Sox any day this past week.
Oh, God, don't remind me. I was there on Sunday, too.
2 outs, runners at first and second here in the top of the ninth inning. The Doors continuing to pour it on. Starks' first pitch to Luke Boyers. Pinch hitter for Jace Borfin is in for a strike, and it's 0-1. So Borfin's day done. 2 for 4 with a double, a home run, and 3 driven in. Also a walk, 3 runs scored. And how about Colby Halter's line? Now 4 for 5, 2 doubles, a home run, and a single. As the 0-1 comes in down low to Boyers, and it's 1-1. So Luke Boyers getting his first action today. Switch hitter batting left-handed against the right-hander Starks. 12-5 is your score. The Doors lead. 1-1 down low and in, and you hear that grunt from Starks, really trying to dial it up here on the velo. But again, 2 appearances now for Starks against the Doors, his only action this summer, and again, more runs have scored to his credit.
You could say the Commodores have figured him out.
2-1 to Boyers is a swing and a foul to the left side. 2-2 the count.
So with Boyers coming in for Borfin, it's going to be an easy change defensively going into the bottom of the ninth. Boyers has served most of his time for the Doors this season in left field. That's where he will be replacing Borfin going into the bottom half. More likely than not.
Starks ready with the 2-2. Here it is. Runner goes from second, but Boyers strikes out swinging. And that ends the top of the ninth inning. But not before the Doors get 2 more on a 2 RBI single by Colby Halter with the bases loaded. And we head on to the bottom of the ninth inning. In a 12-5 game, the Doors lead the Hawks here at McKeon Park. Sirota, McConnell, and Shawnuel, 2, 3, and 4 for Hyannis coming up when we return. You're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball League on the Falmouth Commodores Radio Network. We're heading on to the bottom of the 9th inning here at McKeon Park with the Commodores just 3 outs away from more points in the Western Division race. Falmouth leads Hyannis 12-5 after the Doors have scored runs in each of the past 4 innings. 4 in the 6th, 3 in the 7th, and then 2 in each of the 8th and the 9th innings. More than enough to race out in front of the Harbor Hawks today on what we thought was going to be a bad weather day, but we're 3 outs away from finishing this one. And in to do the job for the Doors, Trey, is a new pitcher on the mound, right-hander A.J. Causey, who just came over from Jacksonville State. Submariner delivering the first pitch to Mike Sirota. Inside to the right-handed hitter, it's 1-0.
So Causey with the Gamecocks this season, 48 1/3 innings pitched with a 2.61 ERA, striking out 58.
His second delivery is inside to Sirota, 2-0 the count.
And you know how many walks he had? 10. That strikeout to walk ratio is OP.
10 walks, 58 Ks. 2-0 to Sirota. Just misses the zone, and it's 3-0.
Couple of changes for the Doors. Anthony McKenzie's at third base. Luke Boyers is in left for Falmouth.
3-0. In for a strike, 3-1. So McKenzie, who did not hit today, is now into the game defensively here in the 9th inning, giving Colby Halter a break. 3-1 pitch is a swing and a ground ball to second base. Stovall picks it up, takes a step, and throws on to first for out number 1 here in the bottom of the 9th. So a ground ball out from Causey. First things first, ran a 3-ball count, but got Sirota to swing out. And for such a hot hitter, Sirota now ends his day 1 for 4. And now it's Cole McConnell with 1 away and the base is empty here in the bottom of the 9th inning. The Doors lead it 12-5. Causey's first pitch to McConnell is in for a strike, 0-1. So Causey, right-handed submariner, 6'2", 200-pounder from Madison, Alabama. Was a freshman this spring at Jacksonville State. Throws a fastball around 90 miles an hour with some sink, natural run to it from that low arm angle. 0-1 pitch off the plate to the left-handed hitting McConnell, and it's 1-1. And then his primary breaking pitch is a sweeping slider. Breaking inside to a left-handed hitter. 1-1 to McConnell. Swing and a miss, and there it is. Took something off, and the count's 1-2 on the Hyannis center fielder.
That's something submarine pitchers use. You know, mainly it's their slider. Sometimes they have a changeup, but it's odd to have a fastball in the 90s. You know, normally you see mid-80s in a fastball from a submariner.
1-2 is high and tight to McConnell, 2-2 the count. And what goes up there and touches 90 miles an hour. He's not sitting low.
Yeah, but like high 80s is still, you know, a little odd. When Chad Bradford introduced it to us in 2002, he was touching 83, 84 at best.
2-2. Swinging a line drive left center field. That's going to fall for a base hit. Pinckney stumbled a bit as he backed up to play that ball on a couple hops and now fires it back into Mooney. But it's a 1-out single here in the 9th inning by Cole McConnell. Give him a 3-for-5 day at the plate with 2 singles and a double.
Yeah, even though the scoreboard doesn't look pretty right now in the eyes of Hyannis, that's still a great line for McConnell. I mean, you said it, but there's still a lot of work to do for the Harbor Hawks. Only 2 outs to work with, and you're down 7. If I'm the Doors, I'm looking for a double play ball here ASAP.
McConnell at first, 1 out. Causey now dealing with Sean Ewell, who swings and misses at strike 1. Looked like that slider on the inside part of the plate. Left-handed hitter. It's 0-1.
It's exactly what it was. Beautiful.
Sean Ewell today 0 for 3. Takes outside, ball 1. Count 1-1 with 1 out here in the bottom of the 9th. And with the way Causey throws and his offerings, you'd like a double play here. 1-1 to Sean Ewell. Swing and a miss. Big cut, and again, came up empty. 1-2 the count.
And that front foot is going towards the batter, even a little bit away from the batter in the left-handed batter's box.
1-2 pitch. Low and away from the left-handed hitting Sean Ewell, and it's 2-2.
Normally, when you plant that front foot, that's where you're trying to aim the ball. With Submariners, it's so much more different. That foot does not matter as much as it does with overhanders.
McConnell goes from first, 2-2 pitch outside, and Nearide doesn't even bother throwing over there. Defensive indifference here in the 9th inning. But now McConnell stands at second with one away. Causey looking him back, now the 3-2. Swing and a miss. Shanuel down on strikes. First K of the summer for Causey, and it represents the second out here in the bottom of the ninth at McKeon Park.
The catcher from Louisiana.
Nasty. I mean, even though it was a full count and Shanuel worked it, I mean, Causey owned him in that at-bat. The pitches that Shanuel swung at, he looked a little dumbfounded. That was a sweeping slider, not once, not twice, but thrice.
Not a lot of familiarity with this submariner. First pitch to Jorge Corona is on the outside corner for strike one, 0-1. So Causey making his summer debut after coming over from Jacksonville State, trying to get through the ninth with the Doors up 12-5 at McKeon Park. 0-1 delivery. Swing and a miss. That frisbee slider high and away had Corona way out in front, but Neareye now takes to the mound to exchange words with his right-hander. So Causey out there with that number 37 on his back, the maroon stirrup socks and those orange cleats. Now staring in to get the signs from Neareye with Corona at the plate. 0-2 the count on the Hyannis catcher. The pitch. Swing and a miss. And that's how things end here at McKeon Park. A.J. Causey comes in to slam the door in the ninth inning, and Falmouth stays hot. 12-5 your final. The Doors win, and Falmouth has now won 7 of its last 9 games, on its way, hopefully, to a Western Division playoff berth.
Huge. I mean, when are the bats going to stop? I hope it's not soon, because that was phenomenal. I mean, 11 of the 12 runs scored by the Doors tonight came up in the final 4 plate appearances for Falmouth. 4 in the 6th, 3 in the 7th, 2 in the 8th, and 2 in the 9th. Something very similar to Bourne, where all the runs were scored from the 4th inning on. I don't know what it is, but the road bats are fuming hot right now, Carter. And it's only important for the Doors to keep it going at home. 2 games coming up back at the Gov. It starts with the Harwich Mariners tomorrow, who are beating on the Brewster Whitecaps right now.
So the Doors get it done here at McKeon Park in the regular season finale against the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. The regular season series ends with Falmouth 2 wins and Hyannis 4. So the Doors do not win the season series, but there is a chance if the Doors keep playing this way that they could face these Harbor Hawks again in the playoffs, with Hyannis already having punched their ticket. Tomorrow we'll be back on the Falmouth Commodores YouTube channel at the Gov when the Harwich Mariners come to town for the second and final time this regular season. But the Doors, after scoring 10 runs at Doran Park right before the All-Star break, put up a dozen here at McKeon Park on the division-leading Harbor Hawks. For Trey Redfield and Logan Soferenko here on the Falmouth Commodores Radio Network, I'm Carter Bainbridge, signing off from McKeon Park, and we'll see you back at the Gov tomorrow. But until then, thanks for sticking with us, and good